You're listening to the EFL Championship on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. You're home of the EFL Talksport 2. We are here. We're on string. We're on cans, but we're working at Crewe Alexandra against Doncaster Rovers. I will quickly run through the teams for you in a moment. Chris Iwelumo is alongside me. You played in playoffs. The tension, the drama. How are the players feeling right now down in that dressing room ahead of kickoff?
Well, I was just going to say, Adam, good evening and good evening everyone. The playoffs, you said it's the best invention since sliced bread. What I will say, for us the media, outstanding. The fans, yeah, brilliant. For the players, it's the exact same. It is so special. Nothing replicates these games. They have been promoted 3 times automatically, twice through the playoffs, and I'd say the playoffs the best way to get promoted. It's just there's something about it, the buzz, the feel about these games. Yeah, you have to buy into it. You have to go out there, you have to believe in the way that you play and the way that what's got you there throughout the long campaign. But there's extra pressure on every single moment, every single second. And I got promoted and we were the underdogs in both campaigns with Stoke City and Brighton.
Well, you can hear the roar all around us. The sun is out as we are up, of course, heading the north end of the Midlands, heading up towards the northwest of England, Crewe. And they are led out down below by Sonny Singh Gill, who is our match official today. And it's Crewe in their traditional red and the blue and white stripes today of Doncaster Rovers, who of course are the form team of all the sides in the playoffs, regardless of which division you're talking about. They've won 10 of their last 11 games, actually won 10 in a row to get here. It's a slightly different story for Crewe, who have won only 1 of their last 9 games and were clinging on to a playoff place on the final day of the season. The one thing I will ask is, the first leg, I mean, I would say we always said you can't win a game in the first leg, but you can lose it. I think last year with the League One playoffs, everyone thought, well, Sheffield Wednesday have managed to lose it quite, and Peterborough have won it. You were at that first leg, obviously. Does your mentality change when you're a side like Doncaster that's been in the form that they've been in, basically coming from nowhere into these playoff places? Do you have to keep that mentality even though we're going into what is the first half of a very long game of football?
You're spot on, nothing changes at all. And you remember, I think sitting 20th on the 8th of March and winning the 10 games on the bounce, and then obviously drawing that last game, goalkeeper sent off, which has been rescinded since then. But it's the same thing that Grant McCann and Cliffy Bunn will be saying to the players. We're going to get in the playoffs. That's the target. They've got there now, and it's all about keeping those levels, keeping those standards. And I'm watching the warm-up, I'm watching the finishing, and I mean, it is ridiculous. Hitting the back of the net every single time, testing the keeper if it's not hitting the back of the net. But I'm just saying that the level and the players are getting to is why they're here. So it's about keeping the levels and going out there doing the exact same as what they've done the last 8 weeks.
Well, as I described it earlier, the most wonderful time of the year, and every single playoff game is live and exclusive to national radio across the Talksport network. League 2 starts here. Of course, we should have seen the start of League 2 earlier today. That game between Crawley and MK Dons will now take place tomorrow evening, and you'll be able to hear that on the Talksport app because of that waterlogged pitch. But we are about to get those League 2 playoffs underway. The Doncaster supporters who are in the ice cream van stand on that far side have actually managed to throw a flare onto the playing surface. This was going to delay us for a moment. I will run you through the 2 teams that you may have missed at the top of the show today due to some of our technical issues. Crewe, there is 1 change for them today, and we've seen Josh Austerfield come into the starting 11 in place of the experienced Chris Long. So Strajek is the goalkeeper. It's Cooney, Williams, Dimitriou and Adebisi across the back. Billington, Holicek and Taberner in central midfield, with Tracy and Austerfield the 2 wide players, and Elliot Nevitt with 16 goals to his name will lead the line for Crewe Alexandra today. Good news for them, a couple of players returning from injury, Connor Thomas and Ed Turns, are available on the bench, having missed the last 5 or 6 games. As for Doncaster Rovers, the big news for them was their goalkeeper, Timothy Lotutala, who of course was sent off against Gillingham in the final game of the season for a handball outside the penalty area, but they appealed it and they had it rescinded, so he's available to play, and they've only lost once since he joined them on loan, the Frenchman from Hull in January. So he's in goal today. Sterry, Anderson, Wood and Maxwell across the back. Bailey and Craig, the two central midfielders. Molyneux, Biggins is the one change. He comes in for the experienced Tommy Rowe, and Ed Delican will play wide on the left-hand side. And Joe Ironside, with 20 goals to his name, will lead the line for Doncaster Rovers. There's a huddle for the Crewe players away to our right-hand side. They're in traditional red shirts, white shorts and red socks, and it is the blue and white stripes for Doncaster Rovers away to our left-hand side. Cracking atmosphere as ever. The Donny support in the stand on the far side. They packed it out, which is no great shot. It's a great old football ground, a fantastic view as we look to our right and we see Crewe's train station. And we're about to go, and they've spun them round, haven't they?
No, they have. But this is the exact atmosphere that Lee Bell will be wanting for his players. Because if we can't get it up for this, a game like this, then there's something very wrong.
Very much so. And it is immediately Crewe that get us underway, kicking from right to left in the opening 45 minutes. And it'll be a throw down this left-hand side for Crewe. And it's going to be taken by, well, Zach Williams is going to leave it actually for Rio Adebisi, who started every single League 2 game this season for Crewe Alexandra. As we said, they've not been in the best of form, have they? They've really struggled towards the end of the season. Lots of injuries, but a bit of fatigue as well kicking in.
Well, it does, it plays a part. I think they did ever so well in that middle part of the campaign. That it's allowed them to have a bit of a blip, but it's so important. You've already touched on it, coming into games of this magnitude with a little bit of momentum, so they have to kind of grab it from somewhere. One win in the last 9 is nowhere near good enough.
Williams goes back inside his own half, flips the ball down this left-hand side, looking for the advancement of Rio Adebisi, who can't quite get there, and Crewe fighting hard to win possession, which they do, just inside the Doncaster Rovers half. Down this left-hand side, Adebisi now with a chance to put a good ball into the penalty area. He's closed down immediately. He's got some support arriving on this left-hand side by Nevitt. Plays the ball across towards the edge of the penalty area, but it just runs away from Taberner. And now they'll go again down this left-hand side with Adebisi. Does get the early ball and it's deflected. It'll be gathered comfortably by Lututala, who comes to the edge of his 6-yard area. I mean, what a goalkeeper he's been, by the way.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, and I think it just instills confidence into that defensive unit in front of him. I'm looking at Adebisi there. This is what I want, from your wide man. You don't have to get your head up. He just takes the ball a yard and whips it in. Can be, no matter how deep he is, I just want the attacking player to get in front, gamble, try and, whenever they're trying be on your toes and anticipate that cross coming in.
Adebisi is one of those who, of course, has come through the famed youth system at Crewe. No surprise, 23 years of age now. He was promoted when they went up to League One last time. That was, of course, in 2019-2020. Made a couple of appearances that season, but as I say, an ever-present starting position for him throughout this campaign for Lee Bell's side. And of course, last time they were in the playoffs was back in 2011-2012 when they beat Cheltenham 2-0 in the final, and Lee Bell, the man in charge, actually came on as a sub in that game. Terrific stories all around the Football League, of course, which we are with you for throughout the entire season. Your home of the EFL is right here on Talksport 2. We've been playing for 2.5 minutes. It's goalless in the first semi-final of this League 2 playoff here at the Mornflake Stadium, or Gresty Road if you do prefer. Launched forward by Adebisi again, up into the air towards halfway. There's a real tussle around that halfway line. Matty Crewe getting involved for Doncaster Rovers as they try and win it on this near touchline, but again it's good work from young Zach Williams. He's just 19 years of age. He's tucked in alongside the experienced Mickey Dimitriou, who's appeared in every single League 2 game as well for Crewe Alexandra. But it's the young and the old, as first chance now maybe for Doncaster Rovers to get forward here. Maxwell on that left-hand side doesn't go to put the early cross and instead goes short to Matty Craig, and they're forced back towards halfway. Yeah,
you're touching on that relationship. It's so important for young Zach Williams that he's got Dimitriou talking to him all the time, stepping up, pulling him over. So important, but then he's got to go and take responsibility as well.
Well, there's two incredibly experienced centre-halves out there today, and Dimitriou, of course, for Crewe, and Richard Wood, at 38 years of age, is still doing the business for Doncaster Rovers, despite the fact, how many times has he been promoted? He was promoted with Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham. 4 promotions in total, I think, and a couple of them via the playoffs. So having that kind of experience in this white-hot atmosphere is crucial.
No, it's massive, isn't it? What he brings in the dressing room as well. He's been there, he's done it. He can talk to the players, he can kind of nothing can prepare you for it, but those little anything that he can bring to the table, it's so important, and that experience is massive.
You have to say Crewe have made the better start here despite not being in form. Holycheck's just giving it away though towards the edge of the penalty area. Opportunity. Oh, he dances inside the box but can't get his shot away. Adelican, maybe he should have shot sooner. In the end, they've won a free kick through Alexandra inside the penalty area. But what an opportunity for Doncaster Rovers.
Well, Adelican's got to get the shot away there. Dimitri actually tackled him with his head. He actually took the ball away. You know, his hands were by his side and he's went with the head and taken the ball away from Adelican. But he's done everything well. He's done a little feint. Adelican's went to ground. He's got to pull the trigger there and get the shot away.
He's been terrific again. Another one. They did some super business, Grant McCann, in January. Adelican came in on loan from Lincoln and has scored 9 goals and 7 assists in his 19 appearances in League Two.
Well, when I was at Scunthorpe, he was just a young boy coming through, just a fantastic talent. You know, even then, Brian Laws was thinking very highly of him.
Here come Crewe down that right-hand side again.
Ball.
It's Austerfield, cuts the ball back across, headed down goalwards, this time by Nevitt, and it's comfortably saved by Lutatalo. It was down into the ground and really easy for the Frenchman to get his hands on that one.
Well, I think it's a massive opportunity. I think Austerfield does everything right with the ball as well. There's 4 bodies in the 6-yard box for Crewe Alexandra there, so I'm sitting thinking, you know, you're looking at Nevitt. He probably couldn't generate the power. He's having to step back and try and get the kind of the net back and steer it goalwards. But when you take it into the ground, you're making it a little bit easier. I think he's got to go for the goal on the full there.
Long ball punted forward safely into the arms of Max Drajek, away to our right-hand side, who's in goal for Crewe Alexandra. They've had a tough time in terms of goalkeepers as well. Harvey Davies and Tom Booth, who between them have played or made 44 appearances this season, both out with hamstring injuries towards the end of the season. And Max has come in on an emergency loan from Wickham, where he'd already played 33 games for them this season. So both have had issues around the goalkeeping side. Here come Crewe again down this left-hand side. Adebisi tries to go and put the ball in early. Well blocked out on this occasion. I think he's feeding that one a little bit on this near touchline is Owen Bailey. It's going to be a throw by the corner flag.
Well, I've watched Owen Bailey. You know, he's trying to come in and he's over-covering for Sterry behind him. But it's just one of them. Adebisi, every time he gets the ball, head up, in the box, the ball goes. It doesn't matter where he is, if he's right beside the touchline or if he's further in, he's putting the deliveries in, and that's what, as attacking players, that's all you want. You want service coming into the box that you can go and attack and make something of.
34-year-old Mickey Dimitriou is going to launch a long throw here into that Doncaster Rovers penalty. Free header and a good save in the end from the edge of the 6-yard box. It was Lotutala who went away to his left-hand side to make the stop. The header coming in from a Adebisi who's involved in everything for Crewe Alexandra. But again, I think we've just seen an example of the real danger that Crewe are going to represent at set pieces.
Lututala, what a save that is. He shouldn't really be getting. Adebisi done everything right. All the power was on the cross. He's got across his man. Steered it goalwards. It's not even directly at the goalkeeper.
He's never inside the penalty area. He goes down. Wants a penalty, and the referee, Sonny Singh-Gill, just waves and says, "Get yourself up. No foul for me." You were up for a second there, weren't you?
Well, you're looking at what he's trying to do. He's just trying to flick the ball inside Anderson there. But Anderson's came through with the body, so it's actual foot to body rather than body to foot. Now, the referee was behind play there and could very easily have given a penalty there.
Long ball forward for Doncaster Rovers this time, trying to pick out the advancing Luke Molyneux down this right-hand side, but Molyneux's outstretched right boot can't quite get there. 9 goals for him this season, but unable to turn that into a worthwhile opportunity away to our right-hand side. 8 minutes on the clock, and you're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. It's playoff time, our League 2 playoff semi-final first leg, and it's Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 0 as things stand. On that right-hand side, Ryan Cooney now getting a ball forward down that far touchline for Crewe, who certainly have settled the better of the two teams so far. And that's a long ball punted forward that time from Taberner, and just too much on it, and it's safely through to Lotutala away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, but I like what he's trying to do. Taberner there, he's trying to Adebisi again, because they're getting a lot of joy down this left-hand side. So everyone's across Doncaster as well. That's the big switch of play, that's the ball. You just never had the quality in that left foot there, Taberner, but you know, I don't mind them trying it.
Good hard work on this near side again for Crewe Alexandra, being done this time round by Holycheck, and they're working so hard, the home team. Lee Bell certainly got his side up for this in the opening exchanges of this first leg. Now wide on that left-hand side, here they come again. Ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. Here's Adelican for Doncaster Rovers, but again he's just snuffed out of it at the edge of the penalty area, and an opportunity to break, but that's caught out in the middle of the park. And again, referee Sunny Singh Gill has two players coming together, and let's play continue. Williams down this left-hand side. We'll give it short to Adebisi. Back to Williams at the edge of his own penalty area. And in comes Demetriou again. Made over 300 appearances for Newport, did Mickey Demetriou. He won League 2 promotion with Shrewsbury back about 10 years ago. And now a chance maybe away to our left-hand side. Here comes Crewe Alexandra again, and it's an early opportunity for Tracy, who gets the shot away, but it's ricocheted, and they'll get a second attempt here maybe, working it inside the box. And Doncaster Rovers defence is all at 6s and 7s, and in the end the referee gives a free kick inside the penalty area for a foul that was committed once more by Shalal Tracy. What a moment for Crewe Alexandra, Chris Iwelumo.
It was a massive opportunity, and I've got to say, I'm looking at Elliot Nevitt there. All he did was shadow what the defender done. He had to just stand still. When Tracy's going to the goal line, all Tracy has to do is cut it back. But because he's basically shadowing what the defender does, for Tracy to fire it across the face of the goal, it has to be a cutback. He has to just understand it and make it easy for Tracy there. If he stays on the penalty spot, Tracy's taking him to the goal line. He just cuts it back, and he's getting a one-on-one opportunity goal.
Chance for Doncaster Rovers now. They've not created much in this game so far. We've had 10.5 minutes. It's all Crewe Alexandra so far on that far side. Adelakan gets it back in field, and now a chance maybe for the right foot of Matty Craig to make something happen for Doncaster Rovers, but again it's broken down at the edge of the penalty area, and immediately Crewe looking to break away with Holicek, and it go back across their own penalty area. And he's still down at the moment. On the floor is Luke Molyneux, but the referee says play on, and Crewe take advantage down this left-hand side. Adebisi slips the ball in for Williams, who'd gone on the inside of him towards the edge of the penalty area, and in the end it can only be hacked clear by Tom Anderson and into touch for a throw on this near side.
Well, it's an excellent break down this left-hand side from Crewe Alexander. Adebisi. You've got Zach Williams as well, breaking into the attacking area, but it's a really strong challenge from Williams. He's struggling as well. It's just a clash of knees, but obviously Luke Molyneux is definitely taking the worst of that one.
I've had to stand up. There's too many who keep standing up in front of me when anything exciting happens. I can't. I'm not like you. I'm not 6'10". Well, are you 6'5"?
No, 6'3.5".
Oh, okay, 6'3.5". Well, you know, a little break in play here at this moment in time when we get some treatment away to our right hand side. Gives me a chance to remind you, of course, all of the playoff games are live across the Talksport network, exclusive to national radio, including those 3 big Wembley finals when that moment comes. Don't forget as well, we've got more live Premier League action for you tonight. Crystal Palace and Manchester United. That's live over on Talksport for you tonight, of course, and they get underway from 7 o'clock over on Talksport. More pressure potentially for Eric Ten Hag against a very informed Crystal Palace side as things stand. Almost 12.5 minutes gone then in the sunshine in Crewe, and it remains 0-0 between these two sides. But what a start so far we've had for Crewe Alexandra. By far and away the better of the two teams, and perhaps should have found themselves in front so far in this game. But Tutala, the busier of the two keepers.
Yeah, they've been excellent. I think definitely up for the challenge. You look at the form, you're expecting Doncaster to come here and get on the ball and really put Crewe Alexandra back on their back foot, but no, I think Crewe's got it down. The challenges have been going in, physical, definitely up for it. You know, it means a lot. You can see the fans have turned up in their numbers, and the atmospheres are absolutely electric, but the players have bought into it, getting the ball down, and definitely should have worked. Tutala Adebisi had the header, great save, done everything right, but he has to produce there for Nevitt.
Demetriou again with a massive throw to the edge of the 6-yard box, comes out, shots driven, takes a deflection, potential handball, referee says no, and the offside flag was up. Well, the driven shot that time from Ryan Cooney when the ball came out just outside the edge of the penalty area that the offside flag showed, and it will be a free kick for Doncaster Rovers, who've got another problem, have they, this time? In fact, I think it was the same player that was down from earlier, that being Luke Molyneux, and it's a free kick for the visitors.
Yeah, it's a great. The technique was excellent. He's come on. He's connected with it there, but you know it did come off the hand in my opinion. But there is 3 players in the offside position coming out there. So, but again, it's exactly what you want. The opportunity presents itself, and he takes it on rather than trying to take a touch and get it down and play again 20 yards out.
Well, I think Ironside's just had his first touch of the game. Joe Ironside, leading scorer for Doncaster Rovers. He just tried to turn the ball round the corner to find Adelakan, but It wasn't the best of passes, and again they look really nervous, Doncaster Rovers, don't they? Is that because Crewe are literally on them, or is it because Doncaster just haven't settled in the game?
Well, I think it's Doncaster that are favourites for this, coming in. The run that they're on, I'm sure the manager would have said, look, you can't be complacent because Crewe have only won 1 in 9 and probably stumbled across the line, as you would say. But the players have, as you can see, the nerves. There's a different pressure when the playoff games come, but that momentum and that winning streak that they came into the game on has to put them in some good.
Well, when you consider Rovers were 20th on March the 8th, I mean, it's ridiculous. And obviously they finished level on points, and that's despite the fact that Crewe have been in the playoffs since New Year's Day. It's quite remarkable, the run that Doncaster Rovers have been on. And if there's anything about momentum going into playoffs, like we say, they should be the form side of all the sides of the 12 teams that are competing in the playoffs across the Football League this year. Here's a throw then down this left-hand side, although you say that Solihull Moors were the form team in the National League and lost on penalties in the final yesterday, of course. Throw down this left-hand side again. Demetriou, he's going long, he's going direct towards the edge of that 6-yard area. Needed a good header away, but it's not the best, and the shot ricochets through again. Takes a deflection, the first-time effort off the left boot of Tabana, and it ricocheted off 2 or 3 before eventually landing in the arms of Latutala, who will bowl it out down that left-hand side and get Doncaster Rovers on their way. But again, it's snuffed out on halfway.
Well, I'll be surprised, the information coming from Cliffy Bond, Grant McCann, if they don't try and get someone on Tabana. He's just finding that space in the for anything that's coming out defensively. And he's got that technique that he's taking the shot, and he's got the confidence, definitely.
And they try and break down this right-hand side, Doncaster Rovers, this time with Jamie Steary, who's been quiet before a Hartley pull man, and he's been certainly caught then. And that was a decent challenge from Olicek. It's left him in a heap on the floor, and it gives the free kick, but I think that's a sign of the aggression and intent coming from Crewe.
Well, I've got to say, Gil, the referee's not even had a chat to him. That's a yellow card. There's no way, there's no other it has to be a yellow card given that for that challenge.
And again, another foul on that far side, and well, it's not given by the referee. Crewe will keep possession, and it goes back away to our right-hand side to Stryek in the Crewe Alexandra goal, who's just bowled it out on that right touchline, and a little bit of pressure that time on Billington as he tries to get it away, but they do get it clear up to Nevitt on halfway, but he's given possession away. Chance here may be for Molyneux, out wide to this right-hand side, and it's Sterry now coming infield for Doncaster Rovers. He turns down this right-hand touchline, and it's blocked out very well this time by Adebisi, and it will be a throw again on this near side for Doncaster Rovers. So they're not spending any time in the Crewe Alexandra half, are they, to build any kind of pressure?
No, not keeping possession of the ball. I think giving it away unforced errors, and saying that, I think Nevitt has to do better for Crewe Alexandra when it's coming up to them there. I think he's timed it well, but it's come off the kind of chin and neck, and he's giving it back to Doncaster. He has to make sure the ball sticks to allow Crewe to get up the pitch. But look at this now. I think Doncaster keeping the ball, being patient with it in that defensive unit. But look how compact Crewe are. That's where you've got to work harder and create space for yourself.
4th season in the EFL for Nevitt. There's a long ball down this right-hand touchline. Tries to find the advancing Owen Bailey, but again, that spins out of play. Bailey is, we talked about the fact that we've got a couple of players in the Crewe 11 who've featured in all 46 games. Bailey's played 57 games this season so far for Doncaster Rovers. Doesn't seem too tired to me. All I hear today is these professionals tired after 30-odd games. He's still going strong.
Yeah, he's just shows you. I think he covers a lot of grass. Adam up and down, and defensively that responsibility goes in and helps his defensive unit out as well. But when he can get forward, he goes and. But there, he's more defensive minded, isn't he? Always talking, dropping in now at right back.
Chilo Tracy's having a good start to this game as well. He just almost created something for Crewe, but instead it'll be a throw to Doncaster Rovers a couple of yards from the corner flag, just down to our left-hand side. 18.5 minutes played. It's the playoffs on Talksport 2, League 2, first leg tonight. Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 0. Beautiful evening. See some view across Cheshire here, can't you? Absolutely stunning in the distance. Throw down this right-hand side for Doncaster Rovers. You can always tell the playoffs are here. The sun's out. Short sleeves everywhere.
Sal's got his winter jacket
Apart
on
from
here.
producer Sal, who's got his big coat on, yeah. Look, it's always cold at the top of a stand. That's a given in football. Top of the stand, it's always cold. I have got my body warmer on as well as a shirt. But some of us aren't built like you with all that muscle to keep us warm. On halfway, headed forward for Doncaster Rovers. Turn around the corner, that time by Adelican. And down this right-hand side, the chase is on, led by Molyneux. And it's again a throw to Crewe, 5 yards from the corner. Doncaster have offered nothing, have they? We're 20 minutes into this game, and they've literally offered nothing.
Well, I think you've got to give credit to Crewe Alexandra. Look at Zach Williams there. The experience under the pressure of Molyneux, just ushering the ball out, rather than putting the boot through it, putting Rosie like a lot of defenders do. I think that's what it is. You have to take your moments, you have to use the ball well. I'm still expecting the likes of Tracy and Nevitt to have an understanding. They're very much playing as individuals.
Oh, now maybe a charge forward for Doncaster Rovers. There's a little foul there. Was it on Harrison Biggins? No, says the referee. And it'll be a throw on this near side to Doncaster Rovers.
Consistency.
He's very consistent.
He's letting it flow.
He's consistently getting it wrong. Harrison Biggins, of course. Wayne Biggins is his dad, who scored nearly 200 league goals.
Yeah, Wayne's here tonight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's here.
Let's have a play on this near side, and it'll be a throw for Crewe Alexandra down this left-hand side. As Crewe look to build once more on the platform they've laid so far. By far and away the better side. Both these teams were actually relegated down to League Two together. That was in 2021-2022 at the end of that season, of course. And now here they are side by side, having both secured 71 points in the 46-game league season. They now try to get the better of each other in this game. As we welcome listeners to Talksport, we are here at the Mornflake Stadium. Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 0. Almost 21 minutes into this League Two playoff first semi-final, of course, and Doncaster Rovers so far have offered very little. Adukan just trying to go into the edge of the penalty area, and that's put out of play, and it'll be a corner down this right-hand side for Doncaster Rovers. Chris Iwelumo, the former Scotland striker, alongside me. Well, we've seen nothing from Doncaster in the opening 21 minutes of the game until their first corner of the game.
Yeah, you have to give Crewe Alexandra a lot of credit. I think they've started the better team using the ball, created the better opportunities as well. Already asked a few questions of Timothy Latula. But you look at it there, I think the one from Tracy, when he's one-on-one in, he should find Nevitt, he should cut it back, and that's a massive opportunity missed.
Yeah, wonderful save as well. We saw from Lututala to deny Adebisi with a header. Mickey Demetriou is in the heart of the Crewe Alexandra defence, has got an awesomely long throw. Every time it arrows into the edge of that 6-yard box. Here's the corner down this right-hand side, coming then for Doncaster Rovers. It's going to be swung in towards the near post. Oh, it's through everyone and evades out on that far touchline. It's going to be attempted to be delivered back in by the veteran Richard Wood, but it runs out for a throw. Of course, Doncaster Rovers, the form side in these playoffs, but so far, Crewe having the better of them. The game continues live on Talksport 2, but we've had 22 minutes and it remains Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 0. On that far side, ball picked up and delivered in on that far touchline. For Doncaster Rovers again, now worked onto the right foot, across towards the edge of the 6-yard box, half cleared, picked up on that far side again for Rovers, and they're trying to work it through this time with the help in the centre of the midfield of Matt Craig. Now it's to Sterry on this right-hand side, and again he's snapping in there at Adebisi to get the first challenge in. Does concede the throw on this near touchline as we go beyond the midway point of the first half on Talksport 2. Where it remains 0-0.
Just look at this. As soon as the ball goes back, Doncaster play it back to Anderson. Straight away, the whole defensive unit of Crewe step up 10, 15 yards. It's excellent. The whole team, the distance between the lines it's been very, very well worked. And at the minute, they've just got to make sure that they keep up. It takes a lot out of the body as well. But if you go and you force the area, you get possession of the ball, which they have done, and then use the ball the way they've been doing, then you know what? It's game on. What a challenge that is, by the way.
That is a cracking challenge on the far side. Brilliant challenge coming in that time from Josh Austerfield. I think the one thing that's probably taken everyone by surprise today in Doncaster is the change of shape for Crewe, because they've got those three centre-halves in there today. We've been seeing them with a flat-back four most of the time, but I'm guessing with the run of form and trying to stop Doncaster, he's just pushed Billington as more of a third centre-half.
Nah, and it works. You know, I think when you've got the energy and the drive from your wing-backs, I think it's important. And then obviously if you are going to have to weather the storm a little bit, you've got a defensive unit of 5 protected with the 2 in front. So yeah, I think you've got to give Lee Bell a lot of credit for that.
The form has been poor, but they've been the better side so far. Here come Rovers with Molyneux out wide on this right-hand side. Just tries to play a ball across the middle, and he does it quite well this time. Opportunity for Maxwell to get forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Gives that one back into the central area for Biggins. And now a chance for Molyneux on his left foot. Gets the shot away. And for the first time in this game, Max Stayek has had to actually do something.
Yeah, I thought Molyneux, he got the connection, but it was across the ground. Took a little bit of the pace out of the ball. An easily one for Matt Stryk to kind of keep hold of there, but too easy for him to get into that position, Molyneux, and get the shot away central to goal as well, albeit 20 yards from goal.
You're listening to Crewe against Doncaster in the EFL Championship playoffs on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. 25 minutes on the clock. He's blown up for a free kick. This is a rarity. I was starting to wonder if he had a pee in his whistle. Our referee today has been fairly lenient so far, Sonny Singh Gill. But this time round he's given Doncaster Rovers a free kick. Or is it going to be a drop? No, it's actually going to be a drop ball. He didn't deem it as a foul. So
yeah, he came through with the forearm to the back of the head. I think it was Billington.
Well, it's going to be a drop ball. I think he's concerned about the head injury, wasn't he? So he's going to give possession back to Doncaster Rovers on this occasion. And they have it with Biggins, and then back towards the two centre halves of Anderson and Wood. And it is with Anderson on this right-hand side. He's 30 years of age, formerly from Burnley, of course. He's had a rough old run of it in the last 5 games or so, Tom Anderson. He's scored a goal, he's scored an own goal last time out, and he's had a red card in the last 5 appearances. So an eventful end to the season for him. And the throw on this right-hand side is Doncaster Rovers, about 10 yards inside the Crewe.
You said about how well Crewe have started, and yeah, they are looking like the team that's going to go on and score the next goal, but it's so important that they do get that goal when they're on top. Doncaster are going to have moments in this game, no matter how dominant Crewe can be.
There's Nevitt now down this left-hand side for Crewe once more, and they'll get themselves a throw, probably about 20 yards inside the Doncaster Rovers half. The question here is it close enough for Demetriou to launch, or they're just going to leave this for Adebisi? And I think Demetriou's saying no, not for me this time. Although, I mean, they've sneaked probably now 10 yards further forward, and this throw would actually be in range for Demetriou based on their current position. Hooked ball across from this left-hand side. Looked like it was going out of play, and in the end, Tatala had to deal with it, and he has. But he's doing it under pressure, and Nevitt's just gone in there, swinging a right foot, when Tatala had his hands on the ball at the edge of the 6-yard box. And referee has intervened on this occasion. That's a little bit naughty from Elliot Nevitt.
Yeah, I don't understand what Nevitt's doing there. Tatala, I've got to say, that is the opportunity to hit the keeper there was when it was on the 6-yard line. It's coming in. That had to be my moment, and I'd have came over, taken the ball, but you've got to take the keeper as well. Let him know you're not going to be coming out for the next one as confidently. But then I don't understand what Nevitt's doing when Tatala's in complete control of the ball with swinging the foot in.
Yeah, it was a real loop in the air from Holicek that just had to be gathered. I mean, he did lose it at the first attempt, but he was comfortably in control of the ball when Nevitt decided to just go in on him, as they say, and the two squared up, but no further action from the referee, Sonny Singh Gill.
Let me just say, Jimmy Bowen, my first manager at St Mirren, would have took up.
Oh, a chance to slide in here. Molyneux's tried to get them. He's poked it through towards the keeper. And it was one that was trying to be run onto by Adelakan, but in the end, out will come Max Stryk and collect it. And there's a problem here inside the penalty area for Crewe Alexandra, and it's a potential injury to Lewis Billington, who was the one who slid in with Molyneux. It's a chance for both coaches. Obviously, Grant McCann down there as well. You played with Grant as well, didn't you?
Yeah, Grant. Cliffy Bond is assistant as well. So
and he's trying to get some words across to his players, as are, or should I say, as is Lee Bell, as well as get some fluid inside them as well. It has been a warm day here. I know across many parts of the UK it's been chucking it down, particularly in Crawley, hence the waterlogged pitch earlier on today. That game, of course, will be on the app tomorrow night, because we've got more playoff action for you tomorrow evening, of course, with the game between Bolton and Barnsley, which is very much in Bolton's favour after a 3-1 first leg victory. Plus, tomorrow night, of course, we've got the second leg, or the second leg of those Champions League semi-finals as well. So plenty of football tomorrow night, Talksport, Talksport 2, and on the Talksport app, which you can download now from your usual app provider.
Yeah, I think Lee Bell will be delighted with the way that his Crewe side have started this game, and consistently keeping it at those levels as well. I think using the ball very, very well. It's just about those. I think he's just touching, talking with Adebisi there. What can you say to him? I think other than can he drive in as well rather than putting the ball in there. Have a chat with Nevitt, have a chat with Tracy. Can you just gamble? As soon as he gets the ball, Adebisi, the ball's coming in, so they've got to get across their man.
Ironside having his first touch of the game, really. And Doncaster Rovers has just started to piece a couple of things together in the last few minutes. But again, the battle is on here. Ironside does very well to keep possession, and they get the throw down this right-hand side. In fact, he looks like he's given the free kick on this near touchline for Doncaster Rovers, midway inside the Crewe Alexandra half. Heading towards the half-hour mark, you're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. League 2 playoffs. We had a bridge alongside Chris Iwelumo here in Crewe in the sunshine. Lovely bank holiday Monday evening, and a chance for Doncaster Rovers to put some pressure on from set pieces. Both of these teams have struggled with defending, particularly from corners, as we saw earlier in the only corner of the game so far, but now an opportunity from a free kick that's a little bit further out. Adelakan and Molyneux are over it. Adelakan to be the player delivered towards the back post, just too much on it, and straight out of play for a goal kick, and you're not very impressed by that.
I don't think that's a bad ball. I'll be honest, I just think everyone's making the same run. Everyone's hunched together. 4 Doncaster players are running in there from the D there. Someone has to go round the back, and then even if you're just putting the ball back into the danger area, keeping it alive, I don't think it's a bad ball at all.
I arrived here today. I went downstairs, I was looking for the dugouts, but there aren't any dugouts. There's just a few seats, and the technical area is just in front of that. It's I suppose you were fairly sheltered by this stand, so you don't need the plastic coverings over, I guess. There's another train pulls into the busy train station away to our right-hand side, where if you've ever been to Gresty Road, we're right at the top of the main stand. I mean, it took me, I would say, two little breaks on the way up. I stopped for a photo halfway, which, well, I said I was taking a photo. I was actually just getting some breath in, because it's a long way up here. I noticed you bounded up, but you're ready for your boxing Friday night, aren't you?
I'm ready.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, I'm sure. Here's a chance for Crewe to just build again. They're going all the way back to Stryek, away to our right-hand side. 13 and a half minutes remaining in the first half. Still 0-0, which I'm guessing Grant McCann and Doncaster Rovers will be very happy with, given the pressure they've been under in the opening exchanges in this two-legged tie. Here we are again for Adebisi on this left-hand side. Adebisi trying to get the crossover, which he does this time, but the foul had already been given by the referee. It's gone out for a throw, in fact, on this near touchline. Oh, it was a decent cross as well.
Well, it was, he's delivered that, and I've got to say it was Nevitt again. It done ever so well, just to kind of steer it goalwards there. I thought it was an excellent opportunity. I don't know how the referee can give that. Is it offside?
No, it was thrown on. It's thrown on.
How can he see that ball's went out?
His assistant gave it. So that's what he's here. Is he the man with the flag?
I'm saying no, but
that's what he's here
nonsense.
for. He puts it up to say whether it's in or out of play. I thought you knew the rules of football. Yeah, to be fair, how many ex-pros do actually know the rules?
Know the rules. I'm just saying the full ball has to go to play.
It does. I agree. And that is a contentious
and
point.
Adebisi was standing behind the ball, and the linesman is where?
I agree. I think it's a long way away, yeah. It's the contentious decisions, but without these people to make these decisions, there would be anarchy. Or VAR as we know it. On that far side, there's another foul being given here against this time. Tracy, well, he's let a lot go as the referee.
He's obviously had that little word in his ear.
Now he's just being a little bit finicky on things.
There was nothing in that. It was Tracy and Anderson both going for the ball fairly there. Both had their feet up. Let it play.
Ironside is on the charge here to try and pick up that loose ball, and he does, about 25 yards out, but immediately all over him is Ryan Cooney on that far side to win back possession for the home side. And it's cleared away and deflected off the back of Harrison Biggins, and it's gone behind, and it's gathered away to our right-hand side.
Well, Dimitri there, it's easy for him to go and kick it with his right, but he's actually waited for it to come onto his left and then put it back where it came from. So, if anything, open out and try and play out the other side, because Adebisi's always wanting the ball, he's always an outlet. I just think he's a little bit panicky there.
Chested down inside the centre circle well that time for Crewe Alexandra by Austerfield, but he's given the ball away. And now down that left-hand side, forward come Doncaster Rovers again, this time with Matt Craig and Adelakan, and now to Matt Craig, who cuts it on back to Molyneux, who scores for Doncaster Rovers. They've been up against it in the opening 34 minutes. But Crewe didn't take their chances, and Doncaster Rovers do. And Molyneux, the goal scorer, he's 10th of the season in the league. And the former Hartlepool man has sent the fans on the far side in the ice cream van stand absolutely wild. It's Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 1.
Well, that's an excellent goal. I've got to say that. Matty Craig wins the ball in the middle of midfield. He goes out, he overlaps his player, he receives the ball, and the cutback was excellent. Molyneux's got in front of his man, and he got in front of the goal, but he's just got his foot around it right into the near top corner. The excellent goal it was.
5th goal in his last 7 games for Luke Molyneux. Created the most opportunities for Doncaster Rovers this season, but he's taken one himself. They're first of the game, and the visitors have the advantage.
Well, you called it. You said Doncaster trying to get, they're starting to get those little passes in, see a little bit more of the ball, but you have to still say the goal came against the run of play, and this is what I'm saying, when you're on top and when you're controlling the game, Lee Bell would have been delighted with the start. So important, you've got to be clinical in that attacking end when you are on top.
Well, some fools have thrown flares onto the field on the far side, which 2 stewards will deal with. They've come from that stand where the Doncaster Rovers supporters is a sellout over there, no great surprise. They've travelled in big numbers across the country. Some may have come down the kind of Derby-Stoke route, whereas some will have gone from that far side. There is a little hint potentially was he offside, but I think he's probably just about okay. It's a really good finish though, isn't it? Because it's behind him, and he almost just checks swinging his left foot, doesn't he?
Well, it's all about the ball. From I tell you what, it's excellent. He's in front of the goal. You're looking at Strike. Can he do anything there? He's struck it well, hasn't he? Molyneux. It's an excellent finish into that near top corner, but Matty Craig, excellent ball.
Well, the work between Craig and Adelakan on that far side was excellent. They were showing that quality. Oh, that's poor from Strike. He's giving it away here. It's to Biggins. Biggins is 35 yards out from goal on his left foot, just working it to that far touchline. Adelakan is out there again as they find Maxwell this time. Adelakan just giving it back, and now this will be loaded. Will it towards Ironside, who made the run inside the penalty area, but no, happy to take their time here. Doncaster Rovers. Another flare's gone off, I think, in the stand on the far side. There's some red smoke bellowing away, and plenty of people in yellow and orange jackets on duty to try and deal with that on that far side. That's broken down for Doncaster Rovers at the edge of the penalty area. Chance to maybe get it away this time for Lewis Billington. Oh, they've conceded possession once more. Here's Molyneux, the goal scorer for Doncaster Rovers, just starting to get a bit more space and time in the heart of that midfield. Adelakan in towards Molyneux again. It's cut off that time by Billington, and it had to be. And it's cleared up towards halfway, where Nevitt does well to win the header, but Doncaster pick up possession again.
Well, this is a feeling that Doncaster know very, very well. When they've got the goal, they can control the game, they can slow it down, they're all comfortable. It's a real test of the character and the quality of Crewe Alexandra now. They have to keep going, they have to keep doing what they were doing and believe in that, and hopefully another chance presents itself. But at the minute, they're giving the ball away unforced now. Errors from that defensive unit as well.
Third playoff campaign for Doncaster Rovers. The last, of course, was under the stewardship of Grant McCann back in 2018-2019. First time in the League Two playoffs. And after 37.5 minutes, it's going very well, Chris Iwelumo.
Yes, I think he's a manager that knows exactly what he wants, how he wants to play. He's strong character as well. He's one of those ones that just doesn't stop talking in the dressing room. A bit annoying actually, but you always knew that he was going to go on and be a manager. But fair play.
He made 11 playoff appearances as a player as well. Adelakan whips that one in early towards Ironside, right into the danger zone of the 6-yard box. Just a bit too much on it, and out of play for it will be a goal kick.
Well, just look at Adelakan's reaction, and he's got every right. It's an excellent ball, and you've got to anticipate it, but you've got to know your players as well. He's put it into the area. Someone's got to get round the back there. Was it Bailey? Was it?
Ironside was in the area, but he was just over his head. But you're right, there's no one coming in round the back post.
Well, Molyneux was trying to get there, but he's got to go a little bit earlier, knowing that Adelakan has that ability.
Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 1. League 2 playoff semi-final, first leg. Crewe have been the better team, but they find themselves behind. I mean, you said it. When you are that dominant in the first half hour, you've got to take advantage, haven't you?
But they created big chances as well. The Adebisi header, he done everything right. It was a great save from Lotutala. But then you're looking at when Tracy's going in, 2v1 in Crewe's favour. I just think Nevitt made the wrong run. He went towards goal. He's just got to hang back, and the opportunity would have presented itself. But just little moments like that, small margins, isn't it? You have to take your chances when you're on top, because Doncaster are going to go into the match at some point.
Here comes Maxwell towards the edge of the penalty area. Adelakan on that far side. We do have some breaking news from the Premier League, which we'll bring you in a moment. Adelakan on that far side now, trying to get forward towards the byline down that left-hand touchline. Just drops back where he knows Craig's waiting for him. Craig again on that right foot, tries to clip a ball through, and Crewe will try and get it clear from the edge of the penalty area on that far side, which they do. Tracy's trying to chase after this one. It'll be well defended though on that far side. Brilliantly done by Richard Wood. So the breaking news is that West Ham United have confirmed that David Moyes will leave the club by mutual consent at the end of the season when his contract expires. 4.5 years, of course, he's been in charge at the London Stadium. 2 top 7 Premier League finishes, runs to the Europa League semi-final, quarter-finals, and of course the day in Prague that both producer Sal and I were at, that no one will ever forget for West Ham United. So David Moyes will leave at the end of the season after his 4.5 years. Second spell as West Ham United manager. Of course, more reaction to that across the Talksport network, particularly later on tonight on the Sports Bar over on Talksport, and again, of course, tomorrow morning on Breakfast with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy. Here's a chance for Crewe. Edge of the penalty, and right-footed shot is driven over the bar. Really good effort from Mateusz Holicek. He's made space for himself, 20 yards out, and he's driven it, always just dipping a little bit too late to challenge the goal of Timothy Lutatala.
Yeah, it's excellent quality from Holicek there. You know, I think he got it deep. He's went through 2-3 players there. He's driving it towards the D, still a bit of distance, but he struck it well. It was just never coming down, wasn't it? I think Lutatala was comfortable there.
Oh, Adelakan, space at the edge of the penalty area. He's hit the crossbar. Right-footed shot, driven in that time by Biggins from the edge of the box. It clips the top of the bar. And that's going to be a goal kick to Crewe, but could so easily have been 2-0.
Yeah, well, you know what, I've got to say, straight, the keeper was rooted, wasn't he? Harrison Biggins there, done everything right, just kind of stabbed at it. Just hit the top right-hand stanchion, the crossbar. It would have been an excellent finish as well if that just dips in.
Again, it was another just behind him a little bit, and he just clipped it, didn't he? Very nice effort. Still 1-0 to Doncaster Rovers here. 3.5 minutes to go to half-time. You listen to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. A reminder tonight, we've got Premier League action for you over on Talksport from 7 o'clock. The build-up to Crystal Palace against Manchester United. And I'm sure Adrian and co, Danny Murphy, alongside Sam Matterface tonight, will have plenty to say about that news coming out of the London Stadium. But the worst-kept secret in football that David Moyes is leaving at the end of the season by mutual consent. The man alongside me just keeps standing here shaking his head. Are you stunned, shocked, or not happy about it?
It's poor, isn't it, really? It's poor. You know, you've just said there, 2 top 7 finishes, got to the semi-final, won the Conference League. I said, and be careful what you wish for, my friend. That's all I'm saying. Maxwell
on that far side. Adelakan has it again, in towards the edge of the penalty area, intercepted and broken away. And now maybe a chance for Tracy on that right-hand side. Now he has got Nevitt in support on this near touchline, but he's not got far enough. He's back inside his own half, and a man who's just drifted out the game, Taberner, is back in control, and he's going to get a free kick on that far side. Chance for Crewe. Just they take quickly. Launch forward down this left-hand side. Adebisi's there. And he's just giving it away, and now Molyneux, a little slip has allowed Molyneux through, and that's going to be a free kick and potentially the first yellow card of the game. Yes, it is. No surprise. And it's Dimitri who gets it.
Yeah, it was a silly challenge from Dimitri again, but again, Doncaster, Crewe giving the possession away. I've got to say, Doncaster were onto it, Molyneux was onto it in a flash, and Ironside was just waiting for that contact, but Molyneux was taking it himself, and Dimitri took him down. I didn't think he had to take a yellow there. Do you think? I think he had enough 3 players in the defensive unit still to do a job.
I'm not a centre-half, he knows better than me if he was getting back or not. He seems to feel he needed to do it, and you always knew. Well, actually, to be fair, the way the game's been ref so far, you didn't really know that was going to be a yellow card.
Fair point.
Didn't even know it was going to be a foul, to be fair, but nonetheless. Long ball forward from Lutatala up towards the edge of the penalty area, headed away as Ironside tried to get up. I don't think that's a battle in the air that Ironside's going to win against Demetriou. And we have a heap of bodies in the centre circle, and you can tell by the reaction around me that thrower's free kick has gone the way of Doncaster Rovers rather than Crewe, despite the fact it's the Crewe player who's in the most amount of discomfort right now.
Well, I don't think it was a free kick. I think both players were going for the ball, both fell awkwardly. and then you're looking at I think it was Taberner's trying to still run away with the ball. So it's the referee, I don't think he knew which way he was going to give it.
Here's the free kick for Doncaster Rovers. Dimitri is, I think, asking for a fairly lengthy explanation from Sonny Singill as to how on earth that has ended up as a free kick for Doncaster Rovers.
Well, he's got to be careful. He can't say too much. Just taking a yellow card for nothing.
Last 30 seconds of the first half. League 2 playoff semi-final first leg. Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 1. And no surprise, they're just taking their time over this. It's going to be Matt Craig who's going to deliver it this time on loan from Spurs. He joined in January. He's made one appearance for the Spurs first 11. That was against Leeds towards the back end of last season when Leeds were about to be relegated from the Premier League. Well, that's a lovely knockdown inside the area. Chance to finish maybe for Wood. Oh, he gets the shot away and it's saved. Well, Wood has scored goals for Rotherham in playoff finals at Wembley, and for a moment there his eyes lit up and you just thought he would have an opportunity to try and give Doncaster a second goal. Adelakhan towards the edge of the penalty area. Tracy's done well to nip that ball away down this left-hand side for Crewe. Alexandra, has he got the pace to get there? Adelakhan's back to help out, and it's well defended in the end.
Well, I've got to say it was Owen Bailey that's won the flick on there for Wood. Done everything right, but then defensively I think Crewe, Dimitri and Zach Williams were in the right place, right time, and snuffed it out. But big opportunity there for Doncaster.
Yeah, well, he does like a goal, that's for sure.
He does, yeah.
2 goals in that playoff final back in 2018 against Shrewsbury for Rotherham, and he almost set his side well on the way to potentially the playoff final, though we never say never nowadays. We are towards the end of the first added minute at the end of this first half. There's a coming together there. There's 3 of them in total. They're all down, 2 Donny players and a Crewe player as well, and the referee comes over to intervene. Ironside is up and about and he's okay. Also up and about from what we can see is Owen Bailey, but yet again it's the Crewe Alexandra player who's stricken on the floor after that coming together. Nicky Demetriou again is the player I think that's down, and he's still on his back, but no physio being called on. Referee just again having lengthy conversations with the players in red, the Crewe Alexandra players. Demetriou's up and about, an experienced old hand of course. We've almost had 2 added minutes at the end of this first half.
Having a little chat with himself there. Demetriou,
he's certainly taking his time.
Yeah, it's a sore one coming together. That
still on his knees as well is Owen Bailey. He's up and about, and it is still Demetriou's giving himself time. It's going to be a throw on this right hand side because the referee did just see that as they're coming together of the 3 players, and he's now on one knee and he's finally up and about away to our right hand side. The shadows of the players beginning to lengthen under the floodlights, not quite coming on. It's the sunset that's doing that right now. I'm sure we'll see the floodlights in the next few minutes. Yeah, it's a proper old meaty coming together with those 3 players as we just get a review of the action, and the ball going out of play in the end, and also Richard Wood getting snuffed out as he tried to score and give Doncaster Rovers a second goal. Still going here then, so we're only 3 minutes into added time. That injury to Demetriou has clearly delayed things as we head towards half-time, and Doncaster Rovers will be delighted, having been outplayed in the early stages of this game, to find themselves in front as we head towards that half-time whistle. But they've got to throw again down this right-hand side, which Sterry will take for Doncaster Rovers towards the edge of that 6-yard box. It's headed half away and then volleyed clear from inside his own penalty area by Holycheck, and he's done very well and traces away now down this left hand side. He's got support coming from Neville out to this left hand side, gets it onto his right foot, tries to work the shot, does get the shot, but there's got 4 blue and white striped shirts there to make the block.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent break. You're looking at Tracy there driving. I think he released the ball too early, take it into the 18-yard box. You look at the defensive line of Doncaster. They were dropping. Nobody committed himself. If Tracy takes another touch, I think you commit one, and then you can slide Nevitt in, and he can get his first one away.
Demetriou launches that one forward, half clear towards the edge of the penalty area. Nodded in towards the danger zone again and helped on its way this time by Cooney, but he's just lost possession, and now at the edge of the penalty area, half flicked away by Molyneux up towards halfway, the goal scorer for Doncaster Rovers, who still lead here by a goal to 0. We've had 4 minutes added on at the end of this first half so far. And no sign of the whistle yet from the referee. Throw down this right-hand side. Sterry's going to take it for Doncaster Rovers. Grant McCann, very much the happier man as things stand. And there is that whistle from referee Sunny Singill. Well, an opening half dominated for the first half an hour or so by the home team, who've been in the wretched form, of course, of late. However, all it took was one real opportunity for Doncaster Rovers. Luke Molyneux with a superb finish from the edge of the 6-yard box. And that's what separates these two sides at half-time after the first leg of this playoff. So, Chris, I mean, the one thing is obviously it's a game that's played over 2 legs, so there's plenty of time left. The frustrating thing for the home supporters around us, I think, is they started so well and had 2 or 3 good opportunities.
Yeah, big opportunities as well. You know, I think the fans have played their part. They've came here in their numbers. The players have bought into that, and I've got to say, excellent start. Lee Bell would have been absolutely delighted. Created the better chances, just not clinical enough, and they've been punished for that. You know, Doncaster have grew into the game. They're in complete control now. I think they look the better side on the ball as well. But you do have players, you know, like that understanding between Tracy and Nevitt for Crewe Alexandra. You know, it's there. You see little glimpses of it, but you know, they are playing like individuals for me. You know, I think Tracy, on 2 occasions, can do better with the ball that he plays, Nevitt, but Nevitt in himself has to work harder and create and make Tracy's mind up where the ball's going to go. But you know, Grant McCann will be delighted going in there, and he'll have a proper go at his players. He'll say, you're lucky to be 1-0 up, and that's exactly what they need, and they'll come out again in the second half.
Yeah, you got the feeling the change of shape that Crewe came with today, playing the 3 at the back and the two wing backs, maybe took Doncaster by surprise. But as with all good teams, once they settled and found a way, we mentioned it, they were just getting a little bit more rhythm, a little bit more opportunities, and bang, the goal came.
Well, that's it. You know, you called it in your commentary that they were starting to see a little bit more in the attacking areas. You know, you've got Matty Craig, you know, Biggins getting on the ball Ironside, not really seeing too much of it, but still his movements creating space for others. You know, Adelakun, he's all over the place, and you know that he's got end product with the delivery that I've seen. You know, he has a fantastic talent, but they've allowed him, Crewe Alexandra, when they're not really under any pressure, playing out of giving the ball away and then passing it centrally when you can go down the side with a little bit of quality, and then all of a sudden you've got to defend for your lives again. And that one time, the first time they actually gave the ball away, they were punished. Matty Craig done ever so well, linked up with Adelakun, got round it outside. The way to pass was excellent, and then he's cut it back, and I've got to say, what a finish from Molyneux, who was ahead of the goal.
And is that a sign of where these two teams have been at in recent weeks? You're Crewe, you dominate a game, chances don't quite fall for you for whatever reason, lack of confidence, the way things have been going. Doncaster Rovers, bang, 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 goal.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, if you're confident in front of goal, Crewe are probably 2 up. You know, Adebisi with his header, he puts it into the bottom corner, and Nevitt gets an opportunity, puts it away. But this is it. You know, when you make it a habit of winning games, things just kind of happen for you. You know, even when they're under the caution, they're having to kind of defend. They're starting thinking, we're going to have our moments, and they've got the quality. And individuals, you're looking at Biggins with the quality. He brings Ironside with the goals that he scored, and then Molyneux and Adelakun, who's all over the place, but with energy. They've got quality. They've got end product. Deliveries coming in the box, and the goal in itself was outstanding.
Well, when you consider they've only scored 2 goals in their last 7 League 2 games, and at home 4 times they've drawn blanks in recent weeks. It's not been good for Crewe. However, we saw enough in the first half to make us feel we'll have a pretty good second half here at the Mornflake Stadium. Beautiful evening. Not so much for Crewe right now as we head into half-time here on Talksport 2. It's Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 1.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL. EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Bring on the unbeatable strike partnership of McNuggets and Dip. Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
Need help to grow your business online? Vodafone Business presents Digital SOS with me, Stephen Bartlett.
Going digital is everything nowadays.
I could really do with some help.
If your business is struggling with its digital skills, Vodafone Business has got you covered. Vodafone VHub is a free place to go to for small business support and practical guidance. Search Vodafone VHub now and you can book a free consultation with a VHub advisor today.
Play Set for Life and you could. Chill. £10,000 every month for 30 years. Set for Life. Play now on the National Lottery app. Terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Kitchen jobs, bedroom jobs. At Howden's, we've got all the essentials you need, and we're always bang on the money. Our even bigger bang on the money range now includes joinery, floors, tools and accessories, worktops, sinks, taps and more. All in local stock and price checked weekly. So ask about our bang on the money range today at your local Howden's, the UK's #1 trade kitchen supplier. For terms and conditions and to verify, visit howdens.com/radio. Select competitors only. Exclusions apply. Trade customers only.
At Screwfix, click and collect is even quicker when you check in on the app. So whether you need lighting lightning fast, wall plugs at warp speed, sealants super quick, radiators right away, hand saws at high velocity, or batteries at blistering pace. For a quicker way to click and collect, check in on the Screwfix app. Download and order today. App check-in is quicker than checking in versus in-store methods. Restrictions apply. See screwfix.com.
Summer is coming with Lidl Be Super Ready. Get 15% off for award-winning deluxe Aberdeen Angus beef burgers to kickstart barbie season. They're now just $2.54 with Lidl Plus. Download the Lidl Plus app and start saving today.
Subject to availability, valid until the 8th of May 24. 18 plus. GB residents. Full T's and C's apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV.
Hi all.
How are we doing?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Let's get this meeting
started.
Hi, Mom.
Where's the tablet gone?
When everyone's home, EE Work Mode prioritizes your broadband for working from home with faster speeds in more places than anyone else. So,
Yeah, I've got you loud and clear as a bell.
this is broadband made for working from home. Search EE Broadband, powered by BT.
Work mode with EE Smart Hub Plus. To verify, see ee.co.uk/claims.
High-octane football coverage.
That's it!
The League Two playoff semi-finals.
Live on Talksport 2.
34-year-old Mickey Dimitriou is going to launch a long throw here into that Doncaster Rovers penalty area. Free header and a good save in the end from the edge of the 6-yard box. It was Loti Tala who went away to his left-hand side to make the stop. And now a chance maybe away to our left-hand side. Here comes Crewe Alexandra again, and it's an early opportunity for Tracy, who gets the shot away, but it's ricocheted, and they'll get a second attempt here maybe, working it inside the box. And Doncaster Rovers defence is all at 6s and 7s.
It has to be a cutback. He has to just understand it and make it easy for Tracy there. If he stays on the penalty spot, Tracy's taking him to the goal line. He just cuts it back, and he's getting a one-on-one opportunity.
Doncaster Rovers again, this time with Matt Craig and Adela Cannon now to Matt Craig, who cuts on back to Molyneux, who scores for Doncaster Rovers. They've been up against it in the opening 34 minutes, but Crewe didn't take their chances, and Doncaster Rovers do.
Molyneux's got in front of his man, and he got in front of the goal, but he's just got his foot around it right into the near top corner. The excellent goal it was.
Well, that's how the first half sounded. You're listening to Crewe against Doncaster in the EFL playoffs on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. So Doncaster have the lead here at half-time on Talksport 2. But this isn't our last offering of live football tonight either. Crystal Palace welcome Manchester United live on Talksport.
Glasner has done a terrific job at his last two clubs. Turned out teams that have played some really good attacking football too.
Crystal Palace will pick up all 3 points this afternoon under their new manager.
It's Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 1.
Crystal Palace fans are absolutely loving it. It's finished at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Very entertaining and great to watch, and Eze is certainly one of them.
We think that they will play for Crystal Palace next season.
Amdouni on his right foot against the Nana and sends him the wrong way.
You know, also we are still below the levels from the expectations that Manchester United has.
So United continue to frustrate their fans. Burnley, however...
This is a manager now who probably knows that his days are numbered. This is a group of players who probably deserve Conference League football because that's their level.
Slips Eze right-footed, curls it in! Fantastic free kick! Right-footed cross, header in! Bruno Fernandes, 2-2! What a comeback from Manchester United!
Yeah, it's been another turbulent season for the Red Devils on and off the pitch. United's manager Erik ten Hag has been in the spotlight once again, linked with the soon-to-be vacant Bayern Munich job. Talksport's chief football correspondent Alex Crook is also a massive Manchester United fan, and he vented his frustration with the managerial situation at Old Trafford on today's mid-morning show.
I'm struggling because you look at last season and you can't deny there was progress. 2 FA Cup finals, 1 trophy in the cabinet, qualified for the Champions League. You look at this season and it's been a disaster. The Champions League campaign was a shambles. They're back at Wembley in the FA Cup final, but the nature of that semi-final victory left a really sour in the taste in the mouth of most Manchester United fans because they did their best to throw it away against a mid-table championship team.
You had to be stopped by a 13-year-old daughter.
That's true. I was ready to walk out in 90 minutes because I was so disgusted with the way that they capitulated. The league season has been a nightmare. They're miles away in terms of the Champions League. Might not qualify for Europe at all when you look at the form of Newcastle and Chelsea. But there are mitigating circumstances. You had the Jadon Sancho situation, which I guess if you're a Ten Hag detractor, you could say was a lot of his own making. You've had Marcus Rashford, who's basically down tools for the whole season, having scored 30 goals last season. They've not got a fit centre-back at Palace tonight, so I'd imagine Mateta is going to have a field day. He's had so many injuries. You've had the ongoing uncertainty over the takeover, and there is a part of me that believes that Erik ten Hag, based on what he did last season, based on what he did at Ajax, deserves the opportunity to work under a proper structure with Dan Ashworth coming in, Jason Wilcox already in situ, a new chief executive as well. He deserves the chance to prove himself that he can work in a proper environment, an environment that, let's be honest, no manager has had at Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson left.
There we go. Thoughts of our chief football correspondent Alex Crook, then a huge Manchester United fan, on the goings-on at Old Trafford. Maybe Bayern Munich will be a destination for Erik ten Hag. Who knows? From 7 o'clock tonight, over on Talksport, Crystal Palace against Manchester United is live and exclusive to national radio. Adrian Durham, Danny Murphy, and of course Joe Shannon looking after that one for you tonight over on Talksport. The other big breaking news from the Premier League so far today is confirmation from West Ham that David Moyes will leave the club at the end of the season after 4.5 years in charge. It's probably the worst kept secret in football. Of course, the papers and social media feeds for the last 2 weeks or so have been all about the potential replacements for David Moyes. Ruben Amorim, of course, has decided to stay at Sporting Lisbon. He was one of the favourites, even flew in for talks with West Ham United. The rumour this morning, and it looks like it's probably going to turn out to be true. Someone you may be aware of from, of course, being an ex-Wolves man, Julian Lopetegui is the man. 57-year-old former Real Madrid boss, was at Wolves, of course, before walking out right at the start of the season. He looks like he's going to be the replacement. Now, you and I have a very different opinion on this subject, and obviously I need to throw my hat into the ring.
Depending on who West Ham bring in. Now, Lopetegui, I've been in his company. I think fantastic character, all positive. He plays a fantastic brand of football. He walked away from a Wolves side that weren't recruiting. They were getting rid of their big players because of the financial fair play, which is understandable. It makes his job even harder. I think Gary O'Neill's come in and done an excellent job. I don't think it's a terrible manager to come in, but I don't think it's one that's going to appease the fans, and that's massive. No. Because first and foremost, the manager's got to go out there, and the most important thing is to get the result on the pitch and put the 3 points on the board. And having that negativity around the London Stadium is going to be very, very difficult as well. Now, you look at Wayne Rooney at Birmingham, as well as the responsibility of going winning games, you've got to then appease the fans as well. You've got to win them over. And I think with the character, the way that he speaks, Lopetegui, I think it would be a good appointment with a brand of football as well. And that's what you're talking about, is it not?
Look, and the cards on the table time, as some listeners probably know, I am a West Ham fan. I was in Prague for what undoubtedly is the greatest day of my footballing life, seeing us win that trophy. And for that, I will be, and I've told him myself, I am eternally grateful to David Moyes, and I hope that Sunday, the home game, the last home game of the season against Luton, I hope that he gets the send-off that he deserves. But there are times when it's time to move on. In football, 4.5 years in the Premier League nowadays is a long time for a manager. There's moments when you feel, as a supporter who watches it week in, week out, a team that is built to defend and that catch people on the counter. We've conceded 70 goals this season. That's his worst ever.
Adam, he came in to do a job and keep you in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He done that job. He was let go. You brought in Pellegrini. You gave Pellegrini 145 million to spend on bringing players, and he then had to be brought in to save the day again. And what did he do? Two top 7 Premier League finishes. And the season that then you're struggling and fighting against relegation, he goes on and wins a European Cup.
He did.
Talk to me.
I'm talking to you. But
I'm talking about progression, and it's all about who they bring in.
There we go. Progression is the key.
It's a long-term appointment then, isn't it? It's not a stopgap.
But the other things you need to think about, the second oldest squad in the Premier League.
Well, it's not done too bad.
It's not 11th or 12th we're going to finish. That's not what the expectation is, based on the money he's had to spend.
The expectation on what he has, where he's got.
Yeah, very much. You sit down now, that's it. We put him back in his box. He's sat down. We're about to start the second half. Listen, we know this is a debate that will continue on the Sports Bar later. It will be on breakfast tomorrow, there's no doubt about it, because it is one that not only has divided West Ham fans, because some are in Chris Iwelumo's camp, but it's also dividing a lot of experts in football. Scott Minto this morning with Cookie, and also with Sam Matterface covering for Jim and Simon. They were questioning Lopetegui as an appointment. So we'll see how that one pans out. Here we go, start of the second half here. Crewe, of course, are trailing by 1-0 after the first leg here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And we're going to get underway with Crewe kicking from left to right in this second 45 minutes. They trail by 1-0, the goal from Luke Molyneux in the first half, which is currently separating these two sides as things stand. And it was a cracking opening 45 minutes here. And a reminder, of course, split over 2 legs. The second leg of this tie is on Friday night. You'll hear that on Talksport 2 as well. And don't forget, all of those 3 playoff finals from the EFL will be live and exclusive to national radio on Talksport. You're doing the League One final, aren't you?
Yeah.
You'll be down at Wembley. That's a smart bib and tucker day. Get the suit on. Enjoy the Wembley food. Yeah, he's just smiling away to my right-hand side. Crewe have possession. Deep inside their own half. Closed down very quickly that time by Adelakan. Now down this right-hand side. It's clipped forward that time by Ryan Cooney, who's just trying to drive Crewe forward on this near touchline. The throw is going to be taken this time by Billington, who's dropped in as one of 3 centre-halves in a slight little surprise, a change of shape for Crewe today. Down this near side, Dimitri is there on his right foot, just got it caught under his feet, took a couple of extra touches to get it away over halfway, nodded forward and then chested down, and now controlled as Newitt goes forward on this near Nevitt, should I say, goes forward on this near touchline. Ball given short on this near side again to try and find Cooney, but on this occasion not able to find him, and away it goes for a throw to Doncaster Rovers. Let's run you through the 2 teams. Strajek is the goalkeeper for Crewe. The 3 centre-halves are Billington, Williams and Demetriou, with Cooney and Adebisi, the 2 wing-backs. Then in midfield, it's Holicek and Tabana, with Tracy and Austerfield providing the support to Nevitt, who leads the line for Crewe, Alexandra. As that ball just bounces midway inside the Doncaster Rovers half, it's headed away well, this time by Tom Anderson on this near side. Clipped forward down this left-hand touchline for Adelakan, who tries to turn in field, but again, it's good defensive work by Billington. They keep possession, Austerfield there. Just tempted to drive that ball forward, and down into a heap comes Ryan Cooney, and that'll be a free kick for Crewe. The Doncaster team, the Tutala is the goalkeeper, of course. Sterry, Anderson, Wood and Maxwell across the back. Bailey and Craig in central midfield. Molyneux, Biggins and Adelakan providing the support to Ironside up front for Grant McCann's side. We are 2.5 minutes into the second half. Still 1-0 to Doncaster Rovers. As things out, the challenge is missed. Ironside inside the penalty area. Right-hand side. Lays that ball back across. Brilliantly finished by Biggins. And it's 2-0 to Doncaster Rovers. And there's limbs on the far side from the travelling Rovers supporters. and no surprise, the perfect start to the second half. It's an error at the back from Crewe, and they've been punished once more by Doncaster Rovers and punished by Harrison Biggins with his 6th league goal of the season. And it's Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 2.
Well, again, I've got to say, Lee Bell will be absolutely devastated. Just an unforced error, giving the ball away. Ironside's driving in an angle to the goal line as well, cuts it back. It's an excellent ball to Biggins as well, and just puts it into the bottom left-hand corner. And there's bodies there, still has a goalkeeper to beat as well. It's an excellent finish. You know, the connection was right, bottom left-hand corner, excellent finish. But I'm just saying, it's just trying to just silly balls in the defensive area, taking chances, and there's not even a risk to it. I don't understand why even take the. It makes no sense. It's an excellent cutback from Ironside as well. It's a great finish from Biggins as well. Arrives at the right time, and that's all I wanted to see from Tracy in Nevitt in the first half. Just pull back. Excellent finish from Biggins there.
Yeah, it really was. He scored in his last 3 appearances now as Biggins. He missed the game against Gillingham at the end of the season. Back in the starting lineup today for this first leg of this playoff. He'd gone 13 prior to that without scoring, but again, these players are hitting form at the right time.
It's important, isn't it? You know, I think on the run that they've been on, players, that was quite serious as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we have got a change going to be made here by Doncaster Rovers due to an injury being picked up. It was the missed header that was the problem. Demetriou again, he's just come forward, hasn't he? He's stretched his left boot out and missed it completely. And like you say, it probably was unnecessary in the manner that he went about it, Demetriou, but missed the challenge completely to allow Ironside in down that right-hand side. Here's the change coming for Doncaster Rovers, enforced on the Tommy Rowe is the player that's coming on, and it's Harrison Biggins that's going off, having scored the goal. So I think he got injured as he stroked the ball home, didn't he? Took a knock. And he'll depart, and Tommy Rowe enters the fray for Doncaster Rovers. So they're 2 up. They had to make their first change of the game. We're only 5 minutes into the second half. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. And the home support very quiet. The away support on that far side in the ice cream van stand in a very celebratory mood. 99's all round, I say, in the ice cream van stand. I don't know about you. Or maybe a strawberry mivvy if we're feeling really fruity today. So Biggins is off, the goal scorer, and Rowe comes on. And the ball safely at the field. They're playing it out from the back here, Crewe, and they're playing it out when there's danger on, but the referee penalises the first intervention in the game by Tommy Rowe, who concedes the foul, and it'll be a free kick for Crewe. I'm not being funny, you've just conceded your second goal through an error. Do you really want to be playing out from the back at that moment in time?
Yeah, I think that's where players have to kind of solve the problem. You know, I think it doesn't matter if the coaching staff is saying, right, this is what we want to do, this is the template, it's a blueprint for you to fall back on, but players out there need to say, right, you know what, let's stretch them a little bit, let's get in the corners, quality down the sides, and then we'll play in the right areas. That's it. Hardly happens today at all levels as well, Adam. Players need to take more responsibility. They're the ones in control of the game at the minute.
157 goals for 9 clubs. Wayne Biggins scored, who's Harrison Biggins' dad. I don't think his uncle Christopher scored any, did he? Christopher Biggins, did he ever score any goals? No goals.
I'll have to have a little look, because you've not got that written down somewhere, no?
I like it. He's having a look for Christopher Biggins here. I'll just move on. Down this right-hand side, here come Crewe again. Oh, that's a free kick at the edge of the penalty area. No! Wow. I was convinced that he'd been taken down there.
I think he got the ball there.
Austerfield, but the referee, you're giving him the benefit of the doubt this time.
I think he got the ball.
Okay. Looked like Austerfield was racing in. No free kick given by the referee. Headed forward on this near side of the field towards the centre circle. Demetriou does win that headed clearance and does well. And now Ryan Cooney down this right-hand side. I think it's goal. He's just taking him down again. No, referee says no, play on. Tracy goes down from the challenge. All around us, they're on their feet, furious with the referee, Sonny Singh Gill.
He's let a lot go, hasn't he? That's another strong one. I've got to say, I think it was a contact. He definitely got the ball as well as the player.
Well, I thought Tracy was fouled, but the referee again not interested, so there may be some physio treatment required here for Shilal Tracy. In the meantime, producer Sal away to my left hand. The good news is that Chris has just Googled Christopher Biggins and has now established that he probably wasn't a professional footballer. No. So there we go. Away to our right hand side. It's going to be a free kick. Well, as long as I think he's going to do here. Drop ball probably, potentially. 8 minutes played in the second half.
Well, in fairness, he has let a lot go. The game is flowed.
But a couple of those, they're really kind of 50-50, aren't they? Well, you know better than me, given the ex-player. I wouldn't want to be challenged like that, I think, but to be fair, the referee sees nothing in them. Ball launched forward and headed away this time by Demetriou. Again, got some good contact on that inside the centre circle. Now down this left-hand side, trying to cut through. That's decent stuff from James Maxwell. Goes down the second time, and again, they're furious around because of the challenge and the free kick going the way of Doncaster Rovers. Maxwell did really well first time, and then just going in for the second ball was when he was fouled. And the referee gives the free kick down this left-hand side.
That's excellent work from Maxwell. You know, he's got Ryan Otterfield there. And he's through himself, he's committed to the challenge. He doesn't get the ball. It's a definite free kick for Doncaster there. I don't understand his reaction there, in fairness, giving the referee a bit of a hard time there. But no, it's one of them, it's too easy.
9 minutes gone in the second half. 2-0 to Doncaster Rovers. And here they are with a free kick down this left-hand side, which Molyneux swings over, breaks, and the shot is driven goalwards that time by Anderson. It's blocked. They've still got possession on the far side. Swung towards the back post. It's headed back across the face of goal, if anything, I think, on this near touchline by Wood. And now they'll try and counter Crewe, but it's gone back into the danger zone, right at the edge of the penalty area. Controlled by Ironside. They wanted an offside flag, not done. 3 Crewe players converge around Ironside and steal away possession. Traces away on his bike away to our right, but he's not getting the ball because Doncaster Rovers have it again. Molyneux out wide to that right-hand side. On the left foot, ball swung towards the back post where it's going up to try and win the header again was Richard Wood, who stayed up there from the earlier free kick. But again, he just couldn't quite rise high enough. And it's out of play for what will be a goal kick away to our left-hand side.
Well, he's done it time and time again in his career. Just stays in the danger area, keeps it alive. You know, he's got that experience. But it's not looking good. Doncaster just seem to be in their groove at the minute. But if you look at that as well.
Yep, they've lost 3-0, of course, the last 3 home games. They're making a change here, making a couple of changes, in fact. We're going to see Ryan Cooney coming off. Probably would indicate maybe they're going to switch to a back 4, but we'll see. The introduction of Connor Thomas, who's just returned from injury. He's going to join the fray. And then we're also going to see the introduction up front of Courtney Baker-Richardson to add a different dimension to the forward line as well. And it's Austerfield that comes off too. So Cooney and Austerfield are off. Baker-Richardson and Thomas are on. Thomas, of course, he's played in the League 2 playoffs before for Cheltenham. He's got a bit of experience to this side, but you get the feeling maybe they'll switch now to a flat back 4 as they go trying to chase the game a little bit more. Down the right hand side, Molyneux has possession. He's closed down immediately on that far touchline, goes back towards halfway, and now again it's back with Anderson and also with Woods away to our right hand side. Here they come again. 11 minutes gone in the second half. Doncaster Rovers in control of this game. They lead by 2-0. Out wide on that right hand side, Molyneux on his right foot was trying to get the crossover. Out of play for a throw. That's well defended this time round by Adebisi. And that's the thing, Adebisi early on in this game, it was purely offensive work. He's much busier on the defensive side now, isn't he?
Well, that's it. I think Doncaster are in control with the ball. You know, as a defensive player or a wing back as it was, maybe left back now. He's getting asked those questions in behind, but you can see there that Doncaster mix up. Yeah, they can play, but when it goes, they can go direct with quality as well. And it's Adelican holding the ball up, you know, Craig holding the ball up. It's hard one to play against. You have to be on your front foot, but you've got to be switched on for that defensive challenge as well.
Craig steps it through. Adelican was on his heels rather than being able to just turn and spin in. It was a lovely, delicate ball played in by Craig there towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but Adelican was just going in the other direction and couldn't quite gather possession. 12.5 minutes gone in the second half. You listen to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, where it's 2-0 to Doncaster Rovers. And again, it's another foul, another free kick to Doncaster, 3 or 4 yards inside the Crewe half. And Grant McCann is going at referee Sonny Singh-Gill. It's another challenge that time on James Maxwell.
Yeah, Courtney Baker-Richardson there. It was just came through the back of him, so I can understand right in front of the Doncaster bench as well. So rightfully so, and everyone got a talking to as well. But when you come on, you've got to try and make an impact, put some challenges in. So yeah, I don't mind it at all.
And on the near side, trying to gather possession again for Doncaster Rovers, but the throw goes Crewe's way. Tommy Rowe trying to get involved. Rowe, of course, on as a substitute for Bristol City man, one of the more veteran players in this Doncaster side, 35 years of age. Another player who's had a couple of playoff promotions to his name. Also, this seems to like a goal against Crewe. He scored 5 against them throughout his career. He's playing in that number 10 role for Doncaster Rovers. Is there a way back here for Crewe? That's the question. What is the plan when you're lacking confidence, lacking goals?
Well, that's it. You know, I've been in this exact position, 2-0 down at the Britannia Stadium against Cardiff, who dominated in the league, in the 2 league games, and beaten us as well. But you have to do whatever you can to try and get that goal, try and keep the tie alive for that second leg. And you never know, if you get the next goal, then you can go on and equalise it. Yeah, that's what it's all about. But at the minute, I'm seeing a bit of a reaction from Crewe. They're getting on the ball, they're taking necessary risks to get into attacking areas. I just don't see any end product, albeit crosses, shots. But they're getting the bodies in there. Look, 5-6 bodies for Crewe Alexandra in the 18-yard box. But again, look, playing back.
Well, they're giving it away here at the edge of the centre circle. Ironside picks it up and then looks to roll the ball out to this left-hand side where he finds Maxwell. Maxwell slips it down the line again to Ironside. He's got the support from Adelakan inside the penalty area, but the pass wasn't the best from Ironside, and maybe a chance now for Crewe to try and drive forward. It's Baker Richardson down this near side with a bit of energy and effort, and he wins his side of throw, which he'll take himself. Sure, back to Baker Richardson again, clips it down that right touchline. He's chasing that one back and just forces Craig to put the ball into touch.
It's just those simple things from Baker Richardson, isn't it? Now harrying and chasing and forcing the error, keeping Crewe in the attacking third there. You know, that's what it's all about. And you hear the fans, that's what they want to see. It just needs something just to click. He's a little bit raw, a little bit frantic at the minute. Just needs to get the ball under control and bring others into play.
Throw down this right hand side, Dimitri again. We saw it in the first half. It's direct, it's arrowed into the penalty area, comes back out, he volleys it back into the danger zone. Now trying to work an opportunity on that far side. It's out wide once more with Debesi as he goes short back once more on that left hand side. Debesi again is out wide, but they're trying to work it infield to the young centre half Zach Williams inside the penalty area, and he's dispossessed and half cleared up to halfway, but they'll have it back again here. Will Crewe with Billington down that left hand side. Early ball played into the penalty area, and it had to be a good header away, and Tom Anderson does well to get it into touch on that far side, and Demetriou starts to go over, and I think they're going to leave this throw for Williams, and in the end a couple of balls on the field of play, and it's going to be a throw from Williams on that far touchline. Adebisi gets it to halfway where Billington's waiting for Crewe in their red shirts, white shorts and red socks. They go back inside their own half, and here he is again, Billington wide out on that left hand side trying to cut through. Is there a foul? No, referee's not interested, as trying to work the ball was Holycheck, and in the end Doncaster Rovers will try and break away. Adelakan up to halfway, Ironside is forward, he'll chase it, but he's not going to get there, and it's going to be gathered up comfortably by Strajek on this near side.
Better.
Billington driving it out from the back for Crewe, just plays it into the referee when he tried to slip a pass to that far side. Well, now the ball hit the referee, but because they had possession he carried on. I'm surprised now they've put it straight out of play he's not pulled that back.
Well, he should bring it back. Yeah.
Regardless of who has possession, they should stop for the drop ball, but it'll be a throw on this near side instead to Doncaster Rovers. He's not a popular man around here, is Sonny Singill right now?
Yeah, but I do think Taberner and Tracy should do better. You know, one of them has to communicate. They both just let the ball go.
A couple of changes already, of course, for Crewe. You can see more coming if this continues for much longer. 62 and a half minutes on the clock. They've given it away in the middle of the park yet again, and now a chance to go forward for steady on that far side for Doncaster Rovers. Just back inside their own half with Craig. Craig will just keep possession and drive through the centre circle. He can spot a pass, the man on loan from Tottenham, but on this occasion he just goes to the right, and Doncaster happy to keep possession. They lead 2-0. You're listening to Talksport 2, the first leg of this League 2 playoff semi-final. Lovely ball, infield. Now Maxwell charging forward again towards the edge of the penalty area. It's all opening up for in here. Molyneux gets it back to Maxwell in the box. Takes a touch, then drives the shot. Comes out on the volley, and the driven shot is a good one as well. And it was Owen Bailey who forces the save out of Max Stryek.
It was excellent from Maxwell. He's driven from deep, he's running central at goal, but what does he do? Well, he commits the Crewe defender, then he releases Molyneux. Molyneux cuts it back. I've got to say it's a fantastic attempt there from Owen Bailey. The technique was excellent, the connection was good, but again, straight an easy one for the goalkeeper to take.
Steady again on that far side for Doncaster Rovers, going back towards their own penalty area, where it's Tom Anderson who then finds the goalkeeper, Lutatalo. I mean, he was busy early on, but we've not seen him do anything really in the last kind of 30-35 minutes, have we?
Well, I just think the quality in the attacking third, like you've called it.
Oh, lovely flick on behind side to himself. In fact, he nodded it up in the air, and he's managed to get there before Dimitri or one of the Crewe Alexandra defenders. Now down that right-hand side, he's been overrun that time by Adelaken, who was coming in, and he just got too much on that first touch and spins the ball out of play, and it'll be a goal kick away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, good striker player from Ironside there. I think Adelaken's just got to put the ball in first time. You know, he's too close to the goal line there to kind of get any.
Well, that's helped on its way nicely towards the edge of the penalty area. Again, it's Tommy Rowe trying to get in this time, but it's gathered once more by Stryek, and you just get the feeling if anyone's going to score again in this game, it's going to be Doncaster Rovers.
Yeah, you know, I think that they're looking kind of comfortable, aren't they? They're using the ball better. They're taking risks, but putting players in the attacking area. You know, you look at it 4-5, always there, gambling in behind, anticipating. But Crewe are inviting them on. I think they've been poor with the ball this second half as well. Just unforced errors.
You're listening to Crewe against Doncaster in the EFL playoffs on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh no!
Throwing down this left-hand side for Doncaster Rovers, right by their own corner flag. So Crewe will try and hem them in a little bit here. I think there's a bit more action coming on the benches shortly. We're about to see the introduction of Chris Long, the experienced wide player for Crewe Alexandra. He knows about playing at higher levels. He knows about playoffs. I was surprised not to see him in the starting lineup today for Crewe. Dimitri has just lifted that up in the air, and the fury around us is because it was really a ball into absolute no man's land, which he should have done better with.
Yeah, it's been the story of Crewe this evening. You know, I think little moments of quality, and then just when you're expecting that to keep it the same level, they just kind of let themselves down, especially in that attacking area.
Chris Long, of course, was in the Championship playoff against Brentford a few years back. He's going to come on for Crewe as they go in search of a goal to take back to Doncaster. Doncaster leading here by 2-0 as we enter the last 24 minutes of the half. That's really good. Never inside the penalty area, tries to get there, but it's put behind. It's good defending that time from Wood, and Craig was dropping back in as well, and it's going to be a corner on that far side, the left-hand side for Crewe.
So I still think Nevitt could just put the foot through it there. You know, he's allowed Wood to come across and just get the challenge in, but why take him on? You know, you have that confidence in your own ability from what, 20 yards, 22 yards out?
That lack of confidence, I think, that's running through this whole Crewe team, isn't it? With the fact, as we mentioned earlier, just 2 goals in their last 7 League 2 games they managed. Home form, not the best either. The record here against Doncaster is pretty good. They're not lost in the last 8. But Doncaster have come for a visit, but that's in real danger now. They trail by 2-0 Crewe. 23 minutes remaining. Corner from the far side. Looking to be swung over. There's plenty of pushing and shoving inside the penalty area, which Sonny Gill is going to pull up here. That's for sure. And it's on that far side. Right-footed delivery coming in for Crewe Alexandra, and it's not beat the first man. It's comfortably headed away that time by Craig. And on that far touchline, just trying to keep possession of the ball and work it towards Holicek. Now down that far side, Tracy towards the corner flag. He's got a chance here, but he's immediately closed down, and it's given us a goal kick. The Doncaster Rovers away to our right-hand side. Reminder, it's Almost time over on Talksport to begin our coverage of Crystal Palace against Manchester United. That's our live and exclusive commentary game this evening, exclusive to National Radio, of course, from Selhurst Park. More pressure may be for Eric Ten Hag. Of course, Chelsea have leapt above them in the Premier League table as well over the weekend. Tabard is the player that's gone off here for Crewe. Long has come on. But if you do want to listen to that Premier League football, of course, best way to do it is get yourself the Talksport app, and you can just switch between the stations and the live commentaries as you see fit. And you'll need it tomorrow night because we've got a game for you on the app, of course. And that was the League Two playoff first leg that was cancelled earlier on today due to a waterlogged pitch between Crawley and MK Dons, because tomorrow night we've got the second leg for you of Bolton against Barnsley. And as well as that, we are bringing you Champions League football, of course, as the two semi-finals reach the second leg. So we've got Champions League football on Tuesday and Wednesday night for you as well. Can Dortmund convert their one-goal lead over PSG tomorrow night? That's the big question, as the game takes place, of course, in Paris. So we've got all your football covered as ever across the Talksport network throughout this week. That cracking game as well with Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Second leg of that for you on Wednesday night too, as well as the second leg of the game between Peterborough and Oxford in the League One playoffs. A place at Wembley at stake with Oxford 1 up after the first leg. Defending required by Crewe inside their penalty area, and done quite effectively that time by Zach Williams, and away on that left-hand side by Adebisi up towards halfway. It's nodded down that time by Baker Richardson, but Doncaster Rovers get possession back, and with just over 20 minutes left to go. He's making changes, obviously. Lee Bell is making changes. What else can he do with this Crewe side? Because it does look like a lack of confidence.
Yeah, but they're not playing. They're not stringing a few passes together. If anything, you want to see a certain brand. Can they go long to Baker Richardson and then pick up the second balls there? Doncaster are winning every second ball. Every time in possession, they're using it better. I just expect more from this Crewe side. I think at the start they're using the ball well, they're playing through the thirds, end product coming in, crosses are coming in, but at the minute what I'm seeing is just it's a team that's got no identity whatsoever, which is so disappointing.
Adelican towards the byline, gets the cross in, but gathered quite comfortably by Max Stryek on that occasion. And again, immediately he's looking for options to move quickly.
Stryek's got the ball. He's got 3 defenders still in the 18-yard box. This is when you've got to be expansive and try and get back into the game. You're 2-0 down.
Well, they have lost a lot of players through injury. Lewis Lee as well is suspended today, of course. He'll be back for the second leg, of course. Luke Offer is probably the one that they really do miss. He's out for the season, the captain. But a whole string of injuries has kind of derailed the end of the season for them, for the Railwaymen. However, desperately trying to cling on in this playoff semi-final. It is only the first leg though, 19 minutes remaining. They trail by 2-0. The sun starts to wind its way lower in the sky, that sunset beginning. And it's been a beautiful day up here in the Cheshire countryside. Here's Tracy on that far side for Crewe, inside the penalty area. Good running from Tracy. It's much more direct, and then he just, instead of cutting the ball back, just lifts it safely into the arms of Timothy Luttatala.
Well, I thought he'd done excellently well there, Tracy. Again, you're looking at Nevitt now. He's just got to release the ball. I think he just, with the outside of his right, he could just play it into the path. Nevitt actually made the right run, just couldn't get there. I think was it Wood again that came across? Well, I think it was Anderson actually that made the timely challenge.
We'll get 5 clean sheets in their last 9 games so far of Doncaster Rovers, and at the moment looking like that's about to become number 6. They've only lost once since Luttatala joined on loan from Hull. It was in January. 21-year-old Frenchman. His 8th clean sheet so far this season if he manages it today. He has been capped by France as well, so they certainly picked up a real good quality goalkeeper in January. Here's Ironside on this near touchline, does well. Shirt being tugged and pulled, but he kept the ball quite nicely, and Doncaster Rovers will build again on that right hand side in the blue and white hoops in which they're playing today. Here's Craig out wide to that far touchline, looking towards the edge of the penalty area. On the charge again down that far side. Molyneux cuts the ball back across, looking for Rowe, and Adelicana was inside the box, but they get it away as far as Tracy again, who's still showing a lot of purpose, and he's won a free kick there, drawing the foul from Sterry. fairly obvious one, and they've taken it quickly. And now they'll try and work it out to this right-hand side Crewe, because they are deep inside their own half as things stand, and they are trailing here by 2-0. It's a long ball forward to try and bring Courtney Baker-Richardson into the game, but out of play for a throw on this near touch. So another change for Doncaster Rovers. Kyle Hurst, the former Birmingham City player, is going to come on, but not just yet, it would seem, because they've got some defending to do, and it's going to be a long throw again from Mickey Demetriou, the 34-year-old, who's going to deliver this in down this right-hand side. So they'll just wait before bringing Kyle Hurst into the game, because they've got defending to do. Floodlights are on, sun is still shining. A beautiful evening for Demetriou to drop one short this time and take them all by surprise. Billington then swings it towards the back post. It is a brilliant ball. It is literally in line of the penalty spot on the edge of the 6-yard box, and there is nobody going to challenge it.
I do understand why they are being a little bit conservative and, or tentative to go forward. It is only half time come the end of this game, but there's still opportunity to go and try and get one goal back, and then you never know. There's still enough time, 15 minutes, and then added time on the back of that. So that's another excellent ball in there from Billington. Someone has to be on the end of it.
Adelakun is the player that's going to be replaced by Kyle Hurst, who's coming on for Doncaster Rovers. Scored a goal in his only start since January. That was against Walsall. Been out for with a thigh injury for a chunk of the season as Kyle Hurst. It's actually been 11 years since Doncaster Rovers last won here at what was probably Gresty Road still back in those days. 11 years ago. Here they are, Crewe on the attack now, wide on that left-hand side. That's a poor ball. That's the problem there. Really poor ball played forward by Connor Thomas. Just too much on it for Tracy. It was a simple pass as well. 2-0 Doncaster Rovers lead into the final 15 minutes. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Well, of course, we're bringing you every single playoff game across the Talksport network, and those all-important finals as well. Promotion to be decided, places up for grabs in League One and in the Championship, and of course the Premier League as well. As that's taken down just at the edge of the centre circle by Ironside for Doncaster Rovers. Out wide to this left-hand side. So they've won it back Crewe, and again, just too much on the pass. And Billington is absolutely livid with Chris Long, feeling that perhaps he should have put a bit more effort into that.
I think he could have taken a touch. I think you're saying about too much pace on the pass. I don't understand why you let it go. Get the ball under control. Connor Thomas there as well. He's come on, and Zach Williams went and won his header. Why is the ball bouncing and then bouncing over his head? I just don't understand that. Either you're there or you're stepping back and taking it on the chest and trying to play.
Second leg of this game, of course, is on Friday night here on Talksport 2. That's a long up and under, and that's going to be gathered quite comfortably by Lo Tatala as he was chased down that time by Tracy and also by the advancing Baker-Richardson, neither of whom could quite get there. So they're almost playing with a 4-2-3-1 now, aren't they, Crewe? And they're just trying to use long wide on this right-hand side, Tracy on the left, and we're seeing Elliot Nevitt, the leading scorer, who's dropped into the number 10 role. And there's a foul there on Ironside from Billington, and that's going to be a free kick for Doncaster Rovers.
Well, I'm looking at Billington there. He puts his two hands on the back of Ironside and just pushes him forward when the ball's nowhere near. It's just like, I understand you're trying to kind of force your way back into the game, but step back a couple of yards and then just go run, put the forearm right through the back of the head and make sure you head the ball. Let's see if the referee gives a free kick then. They don't want it enough.
Thoughts of Chris Iwelumo, former Scotland striker, alongside me, Adam Bridge, here at the Mornflake Stadium, watching Crewe 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. Hurst down this left-hand side, that's clever. Molyneux whips an early ball over, and trying to drive in to get on the end of that was Owen Bailey. Couldn't quite get there. Sterry will try and hit it on the half volley from all of 25 yards out, and it's well blocked this time by Adebisi for a throw on the far side.
It's a great defensive header from Zach Williams as well, but just look at him now, he's struggling. He is struggling. He can't. I think it's his left foot, left ankle. Something's went on there, but he's struggling to move.
Under 18, under 19 international for Wales is Zach Williams. Been through the youth system here at Crewe. In the heart of that defence alongside Demetriou, just 19 years of age, and he's got to try and defend again now. But Ironside's done well to win that ball. Edge of the penalty area, clipped towards the back post where Rowe was waiting for it. Never anywhere near, but it will drop to Rowe this time maybe. But out comes Max Drajek and takes and gathers and immediately tries to set them away up forward, and Nevit's there, but it's all the way into the arms of Lututala away to our right-hand side, who gathers quite comfortably in the sunshine.
I don't mind that from Drajek. He's come out good with his hands. He had to come as well. I just take a little bit off it. You know, you've got willing runners and Nevitt and Baker Richardson as well, and even Tracy on the left-hand side. Just take a little bit off that one there, because I think Wood is definitely struggling to kind of keep up when it's over the top.
On that far side, Doncaster Rovers with possession with Ironside. Forward again towards Molyneux, whose presence in this game has just grown as the game's ticked on, seeing more and more of the ball and an influence in the game as well, in particular, as Ironside goes up to try and win a header again. But that's good defending by young Williams. Back to the keeper, of course, as we said, on loan from Wickham, who just scoops it up in the air. Back to him again, Williams, and eventually Strike will clear it up towards halfway. But my heart's in my mouth every time they're playing around the edge of the Crewe penalty area.
Well, I've got to say, if I was Dimitri, I'd be saying to Strike, we don't want it. You're hitting Nevitt, you're hitting Baker Richardson, and we'll win every second ball, I'll guarantee you that, and we're playing the right way.
And that's a hopeful punt forward, and Lututala it's just bounced inside the edge of the 6-yard box, and he's had no option but to tip it over the crossbar. That was ridiculous. It was absolutely innocuous. It went up almost from where we stood up, kind of halfway up the building opposite, which is a high-rise building, and it was up in the air for ages before it bounced down. And Lututala had to just deal with it, and he does tip it over, but it does give Crewe a corner. You never know. On that far side, left-footed corner is going to be swung in this time. Looks like lurking around the goalkeeper is Long, trying to make a nuisance of himself. It's headed down and away partially by Maxwell. It's going to be delivered back in from that far side. And it is at the second attempt. There's the header goalwards and just flicked over the top of the crossbar. It was a good header initially from Zach Williams, and it was helped on its way, potentially, I think, maybe by Tracy, but it's over the top of the bar. It was a good header goalwards as well.
Yeah, it was. No, I thought it was an excellent little dink. I've got to say, Zach Williams is met it well. I don't think it's got enough power to beat Lututala, but I think it's Long that's just tried to get a little nick onto it and just put it over the bar, but I understand why Long's made the contact.
If they could just get a goal now,
yes,
to take away with them in the last 10 minutes of this game, it would just maybe just quell a little bit of the Doncaster momentum, which is strong still. Molyneux on that far side has it on his left foot up against Adibisi, should I say. Gives it back to Sterry. Sterry goes infield again, and they're trying to work it with Craig. Craig back to the centre circle. Doncaster just going to control the tempo of the game and not allow Crewe back in it. They go deep inside their own half. Lututala at the edge of his own penalty area. Right-footed ball lifted forward, this time by Anderson, down the right-hand side. Ironside's there, no offside flag, he's done well. Holds it up nicely. Molyneux on that far touchline. Rose inside the penalty area. They're all trying to get their Hurst there as well. Molyneux goes the shot on his own. It almost breaks out towards Craig, but it's half cleared from the edge of the penalty area. And then Trace is there. Now maybe an opportunity here. Something could be done. No, down under the challenge. That time went Baker Richardson. And they've got it back, Doncaster Rovers. They're down to 10 at the moment, but a chance to drive a shot goalwards from Rowe, and low down to his right-hand side. Strajek will make the save. And now surely the referee's going to allow some treatment on the ball.
No, he shouldn't, because it was Doncaster were in possession of the ball. That's that shambles. Doncaster were in possession of the ball. He's went down. They had 3-4 passes and then a shot, and now Strajek gets the ball and he stops the play.
Well, there's going to be some treatment required, I think, for Matt Craig. That may well be the reason why. Final chance really then for Lee Bell to get his message across to his Crewe side. 8 minutes remaining in the first leg of this League 2 playoff semi-final. Reminder, second leg is on Friday night for you here on Talksport 2. Plenty more football action to come as well. As we mentioned, over on Talksport right now, it's Premier League action. Crystal Palace against Manchester United. That's live and exclusive to National Radio from Selhurst Park. You'll get the fallout tomorrow morning, of course, with Jeff Stelling on breakfast, on the Superstar Breakfast on Talksport. They'll obviously be talking about whatever happens between Palace and Manchester United tonight, plus that big breaking news from the Premier League this evening that David Moyes, it's been confirmed in a statement from West Ham, is to leave the club at the end of the season. Julien Lopetegui the favourite to take over. The man, of course, who was in charge at Wolves for the back end of last season, saw them to safety and then walked out the door just before the season started. Tomorrow night, Champions League football for you as well. It's the second leg of the tie between Paris Saint-Germain and Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund with the advantage after the first leg. We've also got here on Talksport 2 League One playoff semi-final, second leg action. Bolton in charge against Barnsley. They lead by 3-1 in that tie. That's here on Talksport 2. And get yourself the Talksport app if you want to hear the first leg of Crawley against MK Dons, which, in case you missed it, maybe you've been out enjoying the sunshine today, or if you've been in the southern part of the country avoiding the rain, you may not know that game was abandoned at lunchtime today because of a water-logged pitch. Away to our left-hand side, it's going to be a change, actually, for Doncaster Rovers. And I think they're going to take Craig off here because of his injury. There's traces coming off for Crewe, certainly, and we'll see the introduction of Aaron Rowe for Crewe Alexandra. And yes, it's going to be Craig is going off on that far side, and he's going to be replaced by George Broadbent for Doncaster Rovers for the last 6 minutes of this game. A little tactical shift as well as Broadbent gives out his instructions. And the ball is with Stryek away to our left-hand side for Crewe Alexandra, who desperately need a goal. Remember, it is only half-time in the game, in, 6 minutes or so, but you'd feel they'd just like something to take with them on their journey, although the way they've been performing here at home, maybe it'll be easier playing away, who knows. Corner away to our right-hand side for Crewe Alexandra.
I still think they have to take some sort of risk, but don't overcommit players, just in case, because Doncaster have shown from back to front the pace of their attack, they can really hurt you there as well. But yeah, again, they've got to try and capitalise on one of these corners.
Here is the corner delivered by Rowe, the substitute. Second bit of action in the game, and he doesn't beat the first man. And that's why there's a bit of fury all around us here at the top of the stands, surrounded by home supporters. Clip down this right hand side. Dimitri just trying to nick round the back inside the penalty area, but the header was won quite comfortably that time by Ironside, who tracked him all the way. And here is Ironside again on halfway. Little clip forward for Hurst down this left hand side. It's high in the air, and Dimitri has to deal with it, but just puts it into the path of Tommy Rowe. But then Rowe loses possession, and it's gathered up this time on that far side by Aaron Rowe this time for Crewe, but he's lost out and picked up by Tommy Rowe in the middle of the park. And out to Steady on that far side. They advance over halfway to Doncaster Rovers this time. And with a little help from George Broadbent on that far side, it's back safely at the arms of Lutala away to our right-hand side. He's just going to clear, and he does with a very measured pass. And Doncaster just happy to keep the ball and wind this clock down. Just over 4 minutes remaining as it's played on its way out on that right-hand side by Owen Bailey. And it's at the feet of Tom Anderson. And again, back to Lutala. And Doncaster Rovers just controlling the game and making sure that any danger or any sniff of a Crewe goal doesn't happen. But they've given possession away here to Doncaster Rovers again, Crewe. It was a cushion header, but it's well picked up by the advancing team in blue. Here's Hurst inside the penalty area on his right foot. Comes back this time to Maxwell. Maxwell will go out wide on this left-hand side. Here's Molyneux. Warning with ball at feet. Onto his left foot. Teasing again. Goal scorer Molyneux. He got the game underway. He fires a shot in. And Stryek had to be alert to it. And that will be a corner on that far side. On this near side, should I say.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he, Molyneux? Every time he gets the ball, there's something happening. If it's not, he's direct with his players. End product, crosses coming in there. It was a little bit of a cross shot, but Stryek had to be alive to it at the near post. But always wants the ball, no matter how tightly he's been marshalled, Adam.
3 minutes remaining. Here's the corner down this left-hand side. Hurst has gone short. I think it's going to be swung left-footed. It's drilled actually across the box, and trying to get on the end of it, no great surprise, was Richard Wood. Just a quick word as well about Joe Ironside. I mean, he's not had a sniff of goal, but his work rate today.
And his hold-up play has been excellent. His touch, bringing players in. And sometimes you have to be selfless. Sometimes you have to do all the dirty work, the hard stuff. And then just there's still 5 minutes. I tell you, he'll be in the right place at the right time because he's got that work ethic.
Here come Crewe down the right-hand side. Chases on. Never really going to get there this time. It's Holicek. He sprinted hard, but the ball was always way too far ahead of him. And there's Ironside again, trying to get the better of Demetriou gets the free kick this time, the Crewe captain, out wide on this right-hand side. Holicek, long should I say, drills it in low, first time into the penalty area. It was different and it almost paid off, and there's a little shove in the back from Billington on Ironside. Well, the referee's let it go.
Well, he's done it a few times, Billington, but Ironside's looking for that there, and I've got to say that's excellent refereeing to allow that one to go. So we've been on his back. That's a great decision.
Demetriou out wide to that left-hand side. Forward they go again on that far touchline. Aaron Rowe is out there trying to get involved in the game. Adebisi has possession. Back with Demetriou again. And surely the message here is going to be from Lee Bell. It is only half-time. It is only half-time, boys. No need to panic. Although getting a goal would just give them that little fillip with the last 90 seconds as it's headed forward down this near touchline.
The only disappointing thing is after the first 15, 20 minutes after they've conceded that goal, they've not really looked threatening in any way. You know, it's been Doncaster being completely in control.
Good defending there from Demetriou. Yeah. He was under pressure from Ironside, but managed to get there first and just send the ball back towards his goalkeeper. And a game of head tennis on halfway ensues, and now a chance to break. I think, there's going to be a foul there against George Broadbent, and it's a free kick for Crewe. Into the final minute. I think we're probably looking at least 5 or 6 minutes, so there is going to be a chance here for Crewe to get themselves a goal and get themselves in a slightly better position as this playoff semi-final heads towards half-time before they head to Yorkshire. Volleyed across the penalty area by Baker Richardson on the far side. Picked up by Aaron Rowe this time. Rowe towards the edge of the penalty area, and well, again he's pulling, and the referee's let that go eventually. I wasn't sure how long he was going to continue it for. Aaron Rowe, the player, was on the floor with the ball, and Rowe just pulling and pushing at the shirt of Sterry. It's going to be a free kick for Doncaster Rovers. No need for the trainer on this occasion. And as the home supporters start to leave from around us here as we head towards the 90-minute mark, we're about to see how much added time there will be here at the Mournflake Stadium. 6 minutes is what it's going to be. So an additional 6 minutes for Crewe to try and get themselves a goal. And they trail by 2-0. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. As right-footed, it's launched forward by Le Tatala. And he gets it out wide on this left-hand side, deep inside Crewe territory, where it's picked up and delivered by Kyle Hurst, but he's dispossessed by Long into the middle of the park, helped on its way by Connor Thomas. Aaron Rowe tries to close it down, and then it's gathered up by George Broadbent, and then wide on that far side, the ball is worked back to the feet of Anderson, and then Le Tatala again, who seems very comfortable with a ball at his feet as well in that Doncaster Rovers goal. Left-footed ball is clipped forward. There's going to be a free kick given because it's fairly unnecessary from Baker Richardson in terms of just sending Wood to the floor. 38 years of age. He
didn't need that at all, did he?
Well, he probably doesn't after he's completed the amount of games he has this season and his 25th start this season.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. But you know what you're going to get from him. He's up. It's all on the head, isn't it? Positioning wise, communication, organiser. But Baker Richardson, I have to say, he's been like that from the minute that he's come on. So you're looking at how can you influence a game? Yeah, throw yourself about, but he's got to be better on the ball.
I was going to say, as a centre forward, that little leaving the boot in a little bit late, that's all right, isn't it? You don't mind that.
Yeah, well, he's not even got a talking to. The referee's allowed it just to go on. The linesman's flag got up straight away.
Is there an element of that during the game? If you see some of those things going on, you think actually the ref's being a bit lenient today, I can get away with this.
Well, that's true. Yeah. That's true. And obviously, if he's sitting watching the game, yeah, definitely. I usually just talk to the referees and be very pleasant with them, and they let me away with murder,
Down this near side, it's Ironside who's got 2 round him, but he does brilliantly just as he tries to break away, and down goes Kyle Hurst, and it's a throw-in for Doncaster Rovers, level with the edge of the penalty area. It's funny here because obviously they start to leave the home support, but then they'll stop by the corner flag on the way out. It's an easy escape route, just to the left-hand side of the main stand here at Gresty Road. In this near side, Ironside towards the corner flag, goes down. That's going to be a free kick this time, right by the corner flag for Doncaster Rovers. 2.5 minutes into the 6 added by the referee, Sonny Singill.
Well, I'll be very surprised if they put this one into the box. This is just staying in the corner now, aren't they? Try and run down the clock.
Well, over comes Luke Molyneux. But would you, if you're 2-0 up and it's heading towards half-time, why would you bother? You might as well try and get the third and finish it off. Sure.
Well, you say that, but they put it in the box. It's an excellent clearance. All of a sudden, you've got Baker Richardson running. And that's when the manager pulls you in. I've been in that position as well. Trust me, Alan Pardew, Charlton.
Well, it does go across. It's headed down goalwards that time by Tom Anderson. The delivery wasn't bad from Kyle Hurst towards the back post. I can imagine Pardew's pretty good with a hairdryer.
Yeah, well, the thing was, I've just given the ball back to the goalkeeper, and then they went up and equalised.
Oh, and there was a chance, maybe a little bit of slack defending at the back from Anderson.
That's when Nevitt's got to be alive, you know, that little error, that little misunderstanding with Wood and Anderson. He's just got to be alive to that there.
He's not really been at it tonight, Elliot Nevitt, has he?
Yeah, he's one of those, you know. I think he's one of them. He does everything okay, you know, but what I do expect, you've already called it with Ironside, you've got to work your socks off all the time. You've got to be a thorn in the side of the whole defensive unit.
He scored 6 goals in his last 5 games. He's the first player to score in 5 consecutive games since 2017 for Doncaster Rovers. And Marquis was the player who scored 5 previously, so he's banging form at the moment, Ironside. And he's looked to play, he's playing with confidence despite not getting any clear goal scoring opportunities today. He's worked tirelessly for this Doncaster Rovers side, but he and Molyneux have been incredibly impressive. Aaron Rowe now on that left hand side for Crewe as they try and get something late on in this game. 4.5 minutes of the 6 added play. You listen to Talksport 2. It's 2-0 to Doncaster Rovers, and Crewe have a throw on this right hand side. Dimitri takes it short. Going to be given to Williams. Williams inside the centre circle. Will look on his left foot to ping it out wide to this right hand side. It's allowed to bounce nice to Billington. Billington, what's the cross going to be like? Works it onto his left foot. Billington then lifts it in, and it's half headed away. And now will be cleared on that far side by Molyneux, who skips past the challenge of Adebisi. Molyneux now on that far side. He's got Ironside ahead of him. 3 blue shirts are arriving in the middle as well. And again, really good from Rio Adebisi. Well, you can see why he started every game for Crewe this season. He's been at it all the time. He's had a tough second half as well.
No, he has. You know, I think defensively, you know, where he'd rather be in that attacking third, putting crosses in, but he's been asked a few questions defensively and he's had the answers. You know, I think he's been one of the better performers for Crewe, Alexandra.
Last 30 seconds of the 6 added on by the referee, thrown forward towards the edge of the penalty area. It's knocked on that time by Broadbent into that far corner. Who else is there but Ironside right by the corner flag, and he's won his side a corner as well on that far touchline, right next to where the Doncaster Rovers supporters are gathered, ready to celebrate the final whistle. There is a slow departure around us from the home supporters. That's a bit premature from the Doncaster Rover fans. They're singing Que Sera, Sera already. We're off to Wembley. They do know it's 2 legs, don't they? And this is not a one-off game. 2-0 to Doncaster Rovers, and we're up to the 6 minutes added by our referee. The goals, of course, coming from Molyneux in the first half as the header was won at the back post by Woods, who then volleys the ball away as our referee, Sonny Singill, blows the full-time whistle, and the first leg of this League 2 playoff is complete then, and it's advantage Doncaster Rovers. A 2-0 victory here at the Mornflake Stadium, well deserved in the end. A strong performance from the form side in these playoffs. They really did do well. Molyneux's goal in the first half, Biggins adding the second in the second period, and it's that advantage that Doncaster Rovers will take back to the Keepmoat Stadium for the second leg of this tie on Friday night, which you'll hear live on Talksport 2. Chris Iwelumo is alongside me, as he has been for the entire evening, and I mean, it's a well-deserved victory and probably one that we kind of half expected.
Yeah, you know what, coming here you're thinking, yeah, the form that Doncaster are on, it's not going to be comfortable because no games are, but they were. I think Lee Bell will be happy with the start. You know, I think he'll have a look at that formation, the tweak that he made. They created some big chances in that first 10-15 minutes, and that's where they've got to capitalise, Crewe, if you're looking at that. But what I was so disappointed is that they conceded, and that was it. They were gone then, and confidence is short. You still need leaders and characters to say we've got to go again. Like you say, it's only half time now, and that's what everyone's going to be saying. We have to be better than this on Friday. Doncaster, yeah, it's not a done deal, but I know that Grant McCann will be hard. You know, he'll be saying that you should have been out of sight. Second half, you completely controlled it. You got let off with a poor start. You cannot start like that on Friday night. You cannot start like that.
Have we seen a tie tonight that literally typifies the mental state of both sets of players right now? Because when you're on the kind of run they are, I mean, that's 11 wins out of 12 for Doncaster Rovers, and it's another defeat and a fourth consecutive home defeat here. They just look like they're bereft of confidence. The chances they had in the first half, you feel those kind of opportunities, if they'd gone the other way, Doncaster would have been 2 or 3 clear, because when they got an opportunity, they took it. Crewe just look like they're just not in the right headspace.
And, you know, injuries and age play a part, you know, but if you're good enough, you're old enough. And I just feel confidence is massive, and like you say, one win in 10. Now, it's not great showing, especially we talk about it all the time, having that momentum, that winning mindset coming into the playoffs. It puts you in a good stead. It's not the be all and end all, because you still can go out there and generate and create your own luck. And I thought that's the way that Crewe started the game. But you have to capitalise, you have to score when you're on top, you have to react better when you concede. That's what was very lacking tonight, very telling.
Given that wretched away home form, Crewe, might it be a blessed relief to actually go away from home? I mean, they obviously got a draw last game of the season away at Colchester. Would it be a blessed relief to almost go away without the pressure of the home support, without the fact you've not been performing well at home? Because it becomes a bit of a free hit when you're 2 down, doesn't it?
Well, that's something that Lee Bell's got to look at. If that's the case, shut up shop, play the ugliest game here, make it 0-0, and then say, okay, we can try and get something away from home. If he can see that his players perform better and more free, I'm surprised he's not. But it's an open, expansive game. They were the better team the first 20 minutes. The goal came against the run of play, an individual error again, giving the ball away in the defensive third. So yeah, I think they do probably play with a little bit more freedom. I have been in teams where that was the case, you know, but I thought the home support came and done their job, and the players fed off that and started very well. But like you say, when you're on top and you don't score, you're always leaving yourself open.
No, and they did, and there's some really good individual performances from Doncaster Rovers. It'll be a good second leg, that's for sure. Chris Iwelumo, thank you for your company today, as ever. So the second leg of this tie will take place on Friday night.